Tailgate Show, the colossal sub-region matchup between our Newton Rams and the big bad Brookwood Broncos, coming up for you in about 10 minutes. But first, we bring you the exciting, wild, woolly, unpredictable, and flat-out fun action in Region 8 Quad A with the Region Roundup. There's some great races shaping up, 2 to be exact, 1 for each sub-region. More on that shortly. But first, we tell you about last week in the region. Over on the north side, it was Norcross continuing Heritage's big losing streak, 44-21. South Gwinnett's Comets put their season back in decent shape by blowing out Habersham Central 31-7. Clark Central did the expected against Meadow Creek 34-7. On the south side, well, we won't discuss Newton and Shiloh last Friday. We all know what happened. Brookwood raised themselves to 7-0 by edging Winder-Barrow 21-12 at Brookwood. And Parkview blasted Berkmar 35-14. Those games put the playoff picture into clearer view. Here's how it looks. These are the sub-region records only, by the way. 8 Quad A North features a 3-team race with Central Gwinnett at 3-0. Norcross also at 3-0, and those pesky little Clark Central Gladiators at 3-1. South Gwinnett is on an outside track at 2-2. Habersham Central is 1-2 inside the sub-region and needing some miracles there. Rounding out the sub-region are 2 winless teams. One, the Meadow Creek Mustangs, surprises us about as much as a Marcelo Baines QB sack. The other, the Heritage Patriots, is more like Kareem Maddox throwing an 80-yard bomb. That's right, the Heritage Patriots are 0-4 in 8 Quad A South. The preseason reports meant nada. In Newton's Zone 8 Quad A South, Brookwood's Broncos pull into Homer Sharp Stadium all alone at 3-0 on top of the region. Parkview is 3-1. Newton knocking on the door at 2-1. Shiloh still has an outside shot at 2-2. Berkmar is still mathematically in at 1-2. Winder and Rockdale are gone at 1-3 and 0-3 respectively. A special note, if the Rams have fewer points than their opponents at the end of this game, meaning they, we won't say it. Anyway, if they don't win tonight, they still will be in the playoff picture, and only if they beat Berkmar and Parkview in the final 2 weeks can they make the playoffs. So this game means a lot, but it's not terribly vital to the Rams' playoff chances. This game is the feature game in the region tonight, but other action in Region 8 Quad A South includes Shiloh looking to stay in the playoff race at Rockdale County. Berkmar and Winder-Barrow go head-to-head for the first time. It'll be at Winder. In the north sub-region, what could be the best regular season game in the north side happens tonight as Clark Central's Mighty Gladiators play versus Central Gwinnett at Central Gwinnett. Habersham Central sends its Raiders against Meadow Creek at Berkmar Stadium. Meadow Creek might actually win a sub-region game, and this one. And Norcross travels to South Gwinnett High School where the Rams were last week, except they'll take on the South Gwinnett Comets. Now, as you know, at various times we have had the pick-to-click, which should not be confused with the Big Dogs picks, which you will hear at halftime, of course. But the pick-to-click, as far as the region is concerned, little upset call here. The South Gwinnett Comets playing undefeated Norcross at home. But we're going to look for the upset here. South Gwinnett is a better team than a lot of people have given them credit for, and I think the home field advantage might be to their advantage as the pick-to-click. South Gwinnett Comets over the Norcross Blue Devils. Paul, I hope that I'm not stealing your thunder at all as far as anything at halftime.
No, that's okay, Kevin. You're exactly right about South Gwinnett. They've definitely got a good team. They were in the playoffs last year. You really... They've got some experienced players, though. I will agree with there. I believe that South Gwinnett will upset someone there at their home field.
So that's our pick-to-click, and we've given you that. Now we're going to give you Newton Rams football, and we're going to do that right after this on WGFS AM 1430.
You've been listening to the Newton Ram Tailgate Show with an inside look at Ram football and tonight's game, as well as all the action in Region 8 Quad A. Now get ready. The war is about to begin. Ram football is right around the corner on your station for Ram Sports, WGFS AM 1430. If you want to save money on a great chainsaw, you want the Husqvarna 51. Because right now at Coast to Coast Home and Auto, you can pick up the powerful, reliable, and lightweight Husqvarna 51 for only $329.95. That's a savings of $70. With 3.1 cubic inches, the Husky 51 has the power to do some serious cutting. Thanks to an extra-large air intake and filter, it runs clean and cool. It weighs just over 11 pounds and features a combination choke idle for easy starting. What's more, it has one of the industry's lowest vibration ratings. It all adds up to a saw that lets you do a lot more with a lot less effort. No wonder professional loggers choose Husqvarna. So pick up your own Husqvarna, the Husky 51, and save big. It's just $329.95 at Coast to Coast Home and Auto. Call them at 786-7979 for more information, or see them on the square in downtown Covington. It's time for exciting Newton County Rams football on WGFS AM 1430. Ram football is brought to you by Bulldog Tire, Steele Jones Insurance Agency, Pippin's Barbecue, the Farm and Garden Depot, Charles Evans Nissan, Ludy Sports Shop, Carroll's Floor Covering, Newton Federal Savings and Loan, Mayfield Ace Hardware, East Metro Communications, Hayes Furniture, Coast to Coast Home and Auto, Campbell Lumber Company, Shoney's Restaurant, and Courtesy Ford. And now we take you to the Gridiron Live with Kevin Holden and Paul Dailey.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Homer Sharp Stadium right here in Covington, Georgia. Tonight, the Newton Rams and Brookwood Broncos going head-to-head. The Rams' biggest home game in quite a long time. The Broncos 7-0, the Rams 5-2, have only one loss inside the sub-region. These are two teams that could possibly be playoff-bound. And the sign, Buck the Broncos, is broken by the Newton Rams football team as they take the field for the start of tonight's game. Paul Dailey, a festive mood here at Homer Sharp Stadium.
Exactly right. There's a lot of people here. A lot of Brookwood brought a lot of people from Gwinnett County. So this is going to be a really good ball game. I know Brookwood is probably not. Their coaches got them ready for this ball game. Hopefully they're going to look ahead maybe to the playoffs and not respect Newton County. That's what we really need. But Newton County looks like they're geared up for this game. Coach Cook has got his squad ready, and I think we're going to have a really good ball game here tonight at Homer Sharp Stadium.
You mentioned looking ahead. That's something that the Rams, unfortunately, won't have to deal with that much from Brookwood, because after tonight, Brookwood's next two games, Rockdale and Shiloh, two of the weakest teams in the sub-region. Of course, Shiloh came up and shocked Newton. They could do the same against Brookwood. But Brookwood probably has the two worst teams in the sub-region left to play after this. So if they win tonight, then the Brookwood Broncos have a chance to go 10-0.
This is definitely their toughest task for the rest of the year, and I'm sure their coaches got them ready for it. They've really got a really big team. If you look over there across the sideline, they've got a humongous team. We thought that Jason Robbins was one of the biggest players in the region, and he was probably one of the smallest people out there when they had the captain's coin toss. And Brookwood has brought some giants down here, so Newton County's got to play mistake-free football to be considered in this football game.
And Newton will take the football here as the Brookwood Broncos are about set to kick off. Cordell Benson and Adrian Carr, the two men who are back to receive. Your kicker for Brookwood is John Redding, a junior. Kind of a big guy for a kicker. Has a little bit of extra size. He may play some other positions. We'll see what happens with that before the night's over with. Redding and his Brookwood Broncos are set to go. The matchup of two teams with a combined record of 12-2. Getting underway from Homer Sharp Stadium. Here comes the kick from Redding. It is a high end-over-end kick toward the far sideline that Benson takes at the 10-yard line. He's out to the 20. He sprints to the 30. He's passed some folks out to the 40 and tripped and brought down at the 46-yard line. Thanks to Jason Harris, Cordell Benson was brought down. He could very well have had a touchdown were it not for Harris's tackle.
Good job there by Britt Mask, and also Kevin Johnson opened up some holes. Cordell Benton got the ball right there on about the 12-yard line, went straight up the middle, north and south football, brought it up to the Newton County 45. So this is going to give an excellent field position for the Newton High Rams.
So the Rams started on a good note here. The very first game, or the very first play, we should say, of this game, 35-yard punt return. Stephen Smith is your quarterback. Adrian Carr takes the ball on first down. He's at midfield, continues to drive up past to the 45, to the 44, where he is wrapped up and brought down. Once again, Jason Harris makes the tackle, but the Rams coming out strong early on.
Stephen Smith got the start for the night. He's out there running the offense. They're going to do exactly what we talked about in the pregame. They're going to have to give the ball to Adrian Carr to be successful here tonight, and he shows you right there he's got a lot of talent. No one on the Brookwood team can catch him if he ever gets around the corner.
Carr gets 11 on the first down play, so another first down as Smith leads the offense with Carr. Carr is stopped for no gain here as the Brookwood defense, a tough defense all over that one. They read it on that side with Chris Miller, Justin Breda, and Ryan Farrer on the tackle.
The offensive line for Newton County is probably one of the biggest in several years, but if you look across the line, the Brookwood Broncos have got a huge defensive front and also some big linebackers. Number 82 there for the Brookwood Broncos, Trey McDaniel, a senior, listed as a defensive end. He is a monster. He's got to be at least 6'5", 240, and looks like he's got a lot of speed also.
Second down and 10 for the Rams from the Brookwood 44-yard line as we're just getting underway here in Covington, Georgia in a big, big sub-region matchup. Stephen Smith is looking to pass, but he's chased and sacked behind midfield. That big rushing Brookwood defense, the man who made the first hit, Brian Moody, and Trey McDaniel coming in and making the tackle. Stephen Smith loses a good 8 yards, and now here are the Rams in trouble, 3rd and 18.
The Brookwood Broncos playing a very aggressive defense. The offensive line for Newton County has got to give Stephen Smith a lot more time than that. He had no time to set up for a 5-step drop. Newton's offensive line has got to get geared up here and be able to block these big monsters, and it's just getting in their way. The only thing you can do is get in their way. If that doesn't work, try to cut their legs or do something, but you've got to give Stephen Smith more time than what he had on that particular play.
It's back to the wishbone for the Rams here on 3rd down. One wide receiver to the left side, Patrick Warren. Smith is going to look to pass, and again he's chased. He eludes one tackler. He's going to take it himself upfield past the 50, driving past the 40 to the 39. Good vision of the field by Smith, but the Rams are still a good 5 yards shy of the first down.
Stephen Smith's got a lot of speed. He showed very good vision there. He was caught behind the line, made a good move on the defensive lineman. It was rushing a little too hard, went around the right side and picked up a big gain, but it's still going to bring up 4th and about 5.5, so Newton County is going to decide to punt here.
The Brookwood 40-yard line is where the ball was ended up with the spot, 6 yards shy of the first down, and Billingsley will come on to punt here for the Newton Rams, so we'll get a chance to see that explosive Brookwood offense, and big Mark Townsend. We'll hear that name quite a bit tonight. Billingsley looking to punt here on 4th down. He calls and has the ball, and the kick is up, and a pretty high spiraling kick taken at the 10-yard line. A fair catch called for by Mr. Mark Townsend, as a good high kick from Billingsley means the defense was able to be right on top of Townsend when he made the catch.
Good job there by Wes Billingsley to back up the Brookwood Broncos in pretty poor field position. If Newton County's defense can come out here and play a good 3 downs of tough, strong football, this might be a good battle of field position. Newton County is definitely winning it at this point.
Brookwood will be on their own 10 to start the drive, so once again, just like the Winder game, Newton moving their opponents far back into their own territory. That's going to be very, very important. Field position will be a factor tonight. Sean Phillips is the quarterback, leading that Brookwood offense. 2 wide receivers and 2 backs. Phillips is going to take it himself on first down and is tackled at the line of scrimmage. Telly Smith came up and made a huge hit, a loss of a couple on the play.
Telly Smith did a good job of reading it there. He's a big guy, 6'3", 220 pounds. Those 2 guys, Telly Smith and also Greg Benson, has got to have a really big game to be successful here tonight. The linebackers also got to step up, and we see out there Jason Robbins and Kevin Johnson, the 2 studs there playing linebacker. They've got to have a big game as well.
We're scoreless early on from Homer Sharp. 8:23 left in your first quarter. Brookwood has a wide receiver splitting wide to each side and just Townsend in the backfield with Phillips at the quarterback position. Couple of men in motion. Now Townsend takes the football, breaks a hole. He's out to the 25, to the 27. Tackled after an almost 20-yard gain and a first down, and Mark Townsend immediately has a big hole opened up for him and pounds right up the middle for the yardage.
Mark Townsend is an excellent tailback. He's being recruited by a lot of the southeastern schools, also being mentioned out there in the Midwest. He's an excellent prospect, got really good grades, a big guy. He's got tremendous vision and also really good speed, so he's definitely going to be somebody we're going to watch on television on Saturdays.
So it looks like Brookwood has the ability to move the football and move it quickly with the run. Phillips over center, set to go, running the option this time. It's on the ground. Townsend, I think, fell on top of the football at the 25, but he was lucky to do so. He had to reach far out, and he's looking with disgust at his quarterback, Sean Phillips.
Pretty bad decision there by Sean Phillips, the quarterback for Brookwood. Just kind of a delayed pitch, and it was actually a bad pitch. Mark Townsend just showed the character to him. He just jumped on the ball and recovered it instead of trying to pick it up and gain yardage. So a good play there by Mark Townsend, but Newton County's defense is causing some fits. Marcelo Baines is getting in there with a really quick penetration, and he's got to do that because he's got to use his speed against his big Brookwood offensive line.
Chad Blackwell comes into the action. He's the backup quarterback, but in this particular situation, he'll be at the wide receiver position. 3 wideouts and 1 back for the Brookwood Broncos starting the drive. Phillips and the Broncos set to go. The give is to Townsend. Townsend brought down after a couple of yard gain, but it took 6 Rams to bring him down. That big Mark Townsend is a tough man to bring down.
Good job there by the right side of Newton County. That actually was not Mark Townsend. It was number 88, Scott Spellbring. He was there, and he's a big guy, very, very tall guy. I guess he's running out of the wing T formation. Brought the ball on the left side of Newton County's defense, and they stuck it up, and it's going to bring up a third down and about 9.5 yards to go.
Anthony Gambini splitting into the action as Chad Blackwell goes back out toward the sideline. They've been alternating on plays. Brookwood goes to the line here. 3rd down and 10. The Ram defense looking for a stop here early on. That'll give them some good confidence against this 7-0 football team. 2 backs, 2 wideouts. Sean Phillips looking to pass, has all the time in the world. It's up, incomplete. The intended receiver on that particular one, number 21, Adam Hopkins, but it was well over his head.
Good job there by the secondary for Newton County. The defense line's got to do a little bit better job of penetrating. Sean Phillips had all day back there, but luckily he overthrew the intended receiver. But that just showed you that Newton County secondary was there for the occasion and did a good job of covering. It's going to bring up a 4th down, and Brookwood is going to be back to punt.
So that's a good confidence booster for the Newton Rams, as Brookwood will be punting here with Robbie Norman. Norman's punt is a very high one, and it hits Cordell Benton, and it's on the ground at the 39-yard line. It's recovered. Fortunately, it went straight from Benton to Adrian Carr, who just happened to be standing in the right spot, or it would be Brookwood football.
It banged right off Cordell's knee and went right to Adrian Carr's hands. Luckily, Newton County got a big break there. Whenever you put 3 people deep like that, it maybe causes a little bit of confusion about who's going to get the ball. Cordell Benton's got to take charge on that call because he is the deepest one. He's got actually 2 people up there and going to block for him, so he's got to make the call. Hopefully he learned from that and won't make that mistake later.
And the Rams have fairly good field position to start the drive with 5:42 left in the first quarter. Back to the wishbone. 1st and 10. Stephen Smith delays to Adrian Carr. Adrian Carr still up. The ball's on the ground. We'll see who has the football. The initial motion is toward Newton County. Marcelo Baines was in there. It is Ram football. Adrian Carr had one man trying to tackle him from behind. I think he stripped the football. Unfortunately, Baines was in the right spot. Rams catching some breaks here.
Adrian's got to calm down just a little bit. He's trying to do a little bit too much, and that's one of the things Coach Cook really tries to warn him not to do is to, be real loose with the football and not carry it like a loaf of bread, to just wrap it up. He's got the speed. He's got the vision. He's just got to wrap that football up, and hopefully he can learn from the mistake and not do it again.
You can tell this Brookwood defense is a swarming defense. Still no score. 5 minutes left in the first quarter. Patrick Gaither takes the ball here. Falls forward for 2 yards. Kevin Olenek wrapped him up by his knees, and Gaither fell forward, but now 3rd and 8.
Patrick's playing hurt. He was in a car wreck a couple of weeks ago and got some stitches in his head. So Patrick, that's why he didn't finish the second half last week against Shiloh. And I think that was one of the big points that hurt Newton County last week, because he had a really big first half with 75 yards and no yards in the second half because he never ran the ball.
3rd and 10 for the Newton Rams. Let's see what kind of tricks they have up their sleeves here as Stephen Smith is set to go. He's going to give to Jason Robbins on 3rd down, straight up the middle. Brookwood saw that and brought him down for a 1-yard loss. Wes Zwern came up and made the hit.
Big job, big guy there, Wes Zwern. He come up and just tagged Jason Robbins and welcomed him to Quad A football. That's going to be a good matchup to watch later on during this contest. Of those 2 guys are both big guys, strong, and both college prospects.
So for the Rams, it's a 3-and-out here, and Wes Billingsley will be kicking. David Cook, one of the men back to receive, and Mark Townsend, the other guy, and you can guess that Billingsley will try to keep it away from Mark Townsend. Snap is a pretty good one. The kick is up, thanks to a good block from Adrian Carr. It bounces at the 30-yard line, takes a Newton County roll, and the Rams will touch it at the 29.
Good job there by Wes Billingsley. Another pretty decent punt. No return. One thing you got to do is you got to keep it out of Mark Townsend's hand. He's got such good vision and good sense as a tailback and also a punt returner that the best thing you can do is keep it out of his hands or punt to someone else. But Newton County is still winning the war on field position. It's going to Brookwood's got a little bit better field position here on the 29 to 30-yard line. So hopefully Newton County Rams can be in here on defense only 3 plays and get that offense back out there and hopefully they can try something else, see if something else works.
Well, this is what happens when you have 2 running football teams. We've seen 12 plays run from scrimmage, and there's only 3:19 left in the first quarter. 11 running plays, 1 passing play. It was incomplete. Phillips on 1st down is going to give to Townsend, who's stuffed for nada as the Ram defensive front comes up and stuffs Mark Townsend on 1st down.
Good job there by Marcelo Baines and also Jason Robbins of stuffing that play. It was just an off tackle to the left side. Brookwood relies a lot on their offensive line, those big guys up front, but Newton County won that war on that particular play.
Looks like the defenses are going to be the story of this game. Early on, we've seen absolutely nothing except an 11-yard run from Adrian Carr, a little run from Stephen Smith, and a 19-yard run from Townsend, but the defenses have both adjusted for both teams. Looks like we're going to be in for a low-scoring game tonight. Man goes in motion for the Brookwood Broncos here on second down on the delay. Townsend takes it. Townsend down for another loss. Marcelo Baines wrapped him up initially, but it took a couple of other folks to bring him down.
Good job there by Marcelo Baines of staying home. He's working real hard on that big center for Brookwood, and he looked up and saw Mark Townsend on like a delayed draw and picked up the waist of Mark Townsend and just kind of dragged him down. And big play there. Marcelo is going back Brookwood up, and it's going to be third and about 12 yards to go.
Once again, another huge play here for the Ram defense. With it 3rd and 13, the Rams would like nothing more than to stop Brookwood and keep them way back. The Rams would get some terrific field position if they can stop Brookwood for just a little gain here. 1:54 left, still no score. The Brookwood Broncos will pass, no surprise. The pass is up, and it's going to be complete to the 35-yard line. What a catch, a diving catch from Adam Hopkins, a senior, dove out and made the catch like a good center fielder would, making a terrific catch on the ball, and just like that, a heartbreaker, and the Brookwood Broncos in Ram territory at the 36.
Those are the kind of plays that will break you back. Thomas McCollum had pretty good coverage that he got beat deep. Wes Hopkins, or Adam Hopkins there, came by and just went right by him about on the 40-yard line and made a tremendous catch. And it's going to bring up a 1st and 10 for Brookwood on the Newton County 36-yard line.
38-yard passing play, so first down as Brookwood starts it up again. That's only their second first down so far in this game. Phillips will give to Townsend on first down, and Townsend is stuffed once again. Greg Benson came up and made the first hit for the Rams. Townsend, outside of that first gain, has had absolutely nothing as the defense has really keyed on him and stopped him.
Coach Kevin Binky, the defense coordinator, has done a good job of getting his defense ready for this ball game. As you can tell, they had one little mistake there in the first quarter there where Mark Townsend picked up 19 yards, but apparently they've adjusted. Those guys are doing a good job. Courtney Williams playing defensive tackle, Marcelo Baines nose guard, and the two big defensive ends, Greg Benson and Telly Smith, are doing a wonderful job right now.
Already there have been 5 different plays in which the Rams have stopped Brookwood for negative yardage. That's a good sign, considering there have only been 3 positive yardage plays. 2 wide receivers, 2 backs for Brookwood. Once again, the give, and Townsend has nothing up the middle. The Ram defense all over it. It'll bring up 3rd and long once again. Now, Brookwood got out of this jam once. Can they do it again?
Newton County's doing a good job of doing a little bit of blitz now. Rico Williams, they're faking the blitz. Hopefully they won't get caught in that. It looks like Brookwood may go to the air this time. They've been successful in the past. 21, Adam Hopkins is coming in with the play, so Newton County secondary has got to be ready for this play. Hopefully they can cover them a little bit better than they did earlier on the last series.
10 seconds left in this quarter, and Brookwood may just have enough time to get off one play. They will. Dropping back to passes, Phillips has a bunch of time. It's up and complete and hit hard for a loss as the receiver Hopkins caught the football. Came up, Alex Watley did, and made the hit. That's the end of the quarter. Probably a first down for the Brookwood Broncos.
Going to bring up a first down for the Brookwood Broncos. A big catch there. Newton County's got to do a little bit better job on their secondary, and this is going to be the end of the first quarter.
Well, the first quarter is drawn to a close. Still no score from Homer Sharp Stadium. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout. Newton Ram football on WGFS AM 1430.
It's October's Best Buys of the Month going on now at Mayfield Ace Hardware. Ace Extra Large Trash Bags 30-count package, $2.77. Ace Leaf Rake, $4.88. Ace White Leather Palm Gloves, $1.97 a pair. And Peak Antifreeze, $3, and then after rebates you pay only 50 cents. That's the Best Buys of the Month going on now at Mayfield Ace Hardware on the Square and in Newton Plaza.
Homer Sharp Stadium where the Brookwood Broncos are driving on the Newton County Rams. Back with your play-by-play, Kevin Holden.
All right, Paul Dailey, thank you very much. It is first down for the Brookwood Broncos. They're on the Newton 23-yard line. No score here in this ballgame. The Ram defense tremendously strong all year long at home, and it continues, but Brookwood driving here. Townsend will take it on first down. Townsend has a couple of yards, but the Ram defense on top of him. Telly Smith finishes him off for the tackle. He gained a yard at the most, possibly 2.
But Mark Townsend's getting kind of frustrated there of not gaining any yards. He's used to picking up big yardage, and this may frustrate him, and that's something that Newton County can really eat off of. If they can frustrate Mark Townsend, frustrate the quarterback for Brookwood, Sean Phillips. He's just been a little bit successful in the air. Hopefully Newton County's secondary has made some kind of adjustment and they can hold Brookwood at least for 3 points.
The good thing is Brookwood has had a lot of third down plays. The unfortunate part is they've been very, very good at executing on their third down passes. Phillips gives to Townsend on second down. Townsend has a little bit of room, but now the defense on him. I think the ball might be on the ground at the 20-yard line. We'll see what the officials will signal here. They signal Newton Ram football on the 20-yard line. Townsend is fumbled after the 1-yard carry, and the Rams take over, and Brookwood doesn't score after driving all that field distance.
Newton County got very lucky there. Greg Benson got sucked into the middle of the defense, and Mark Townsend had a little bit of running room there, but Marcelo Baines was trailing him there, and Marcelo Baines just reached up there and grabbed the ball out of Mark Townsend's hands, and like we said the play earlier, he's a little bit frustrated, so maybe he wasn't as concentrating as much as he should have, but that's a very big break for Newton County. Hopefully their offense can come in here and drive a little bit and start winning that field position more that they had advantage of earlier in the game.
Now the Newton Rams would like nothing more than a big run from Adrian Carr to put them out of this deep, deep hole. Adrian Carr takes the ball on first down, cuts upfield. He's still up at the 25 to the 26. He made a couple of cuts that blocking was all toward the left side, but Adrian ran back toward the right side, and it helped him. He gained a good 6 or 7 yards.
Everything closed up on that the left side of the Newton County Ram offense, the right side of the Brookwood Broncos. It was just a quick pitch to the weak side of the field, and nothing was there for Adrian, so he turned it back and came back the other way and picked up a big 6 yards, 6-7 yards. It's going to bring up second down in about 4.
Stephen Smith leads your offense. The wishbone formation. Robbins not in there. Patrick Gaither's in. Adrian Carr takes it on second down and stuffed for nothing there. He was brought back to the 25, bringing up a third down and 4.5 yards to go.
Big play there by Trey McDaniel, number 82, big guy out there. He just sat there and body slammed Adrian Carr to the ground. Coach Cook is going to have to get Adrian and the other backs out here on the far side of the ball. Give him a little bit of room to run, and on that weak side of the field, you just don't have a lot of room to run. And with the speed and the moves and the vision that Adrian and Cordell have, I think they'll be a little bit more successful on this right side of the football field.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a classic from Homer Sharp Stadium. Goose eggs on the scoreboard for both sides. 9:38 left in quarter number 2. A little bit of a wing T type formation for the Rams on the third down and 4 yards to go play. Adrian Carr takes it on the reverse to this side. He's got the first down plus a little bit. Breaks outside, but is tackled out of bounds at the 36. But that's a big one there, a first down. Finally, the Rams do execute on third down.
Good call there by Coach Cook. He changed the formation. He got out of the wishbone and got into the wing T, and that loosened up the Brookwood defense a little bit, brought another person on this side of the field, and they went right back to the weak side. Adrian picked up a big gain. It's going to bring first and down for Newton County on their own 35-yard line.
Well, we said this much. When it's a big game, we want Adrian Carr to touch the football, and so far, 6 carries, and he hasn't had any negative yardage yet. He's got 27 yards on the 6 carries, including an 11-yard gain. Smith fakes the handoff, has some running room. He's out to the 45, runs out of bounds, and is hit hard. There comes the penalty flag at the 47. The man who hit him was Jason Harris. Smith was a good 2 steps out of bounds, hit hard by Harris, and he knocked over one of the Brookwood assistant coaches.
A big foolish play there by Jason Harris for the Brookwood Broncos. He was out of bounds. Stevens did a good job of running the option play, decided to keep it, ran around the corner, picked up about 10 or 11 yards, and is going to tack on another 15 here. So this is a big break for Newton County. And 22, Jason Harris is over there talking. Well, actually, the coach talked to him and put him right back on the field. If that happened with Coach Cook, I doubt that player will be back out on the field.
He would certainly be on the sideline, but Jason Harris will be back out there. It'll be a 15-yard penalty here, and the ball will be at the Brookwood 39-yard line, so an 11-yard gain, a 15-yard penalty, and the Rams now in Brookwood territory and driving steadily down the field. They've been helped by the penalty, but of their 4 plays so far in this drive, they've gained 27 yards in rushing offense, 16 by Carr and 11 by Stephen Smith. Smith on this play gives to Patrick Gaither, and Gaither has a yard or 2 up the middle, but the Brookwood defense was there all over that one. And Patrick Gaither, despite being a tremendous back, I think doesn't have the same blocking ability as Jason Robbins, who's now in the game.
That's right. He's just not as big as Jason. He's got a lot more speed and a little bit more quickness than Jason does, but Jason's one of the powerful runners, and that's what you need tonight against Brookwood. You need some power, some blocking against those big linebackers for Brookwood, so look for Jason to be in the game the majority of the night tonight. You need to take that quick hole right off the guard and just go ahead and go for it, because the linebackers are moving and they're not there. So Jason's got to take that handoff and go straight up instead of going lateral down the line of scrimmage. Hopefully he learned from that, and Stephen Smith is up under center.
Back to the wishbone, 3rd down and 5. Adrian Carr takes the football. He eludes one tackle, cuts toward this side of the field, still looking for running room. Wrapped up, brought down at the 30. think he's going to be a yard short of a first down, but Adrian Carr did a tremendous job. Two people had hands on him. He ran back toward this side of the field, toward the press box side, and gained a couple of yards, turning a loss into a gain.
That shows the discipline of the Brookwood Broncos. A lot of them pursued towards the left side of the ball over there with Newton County, but a couple of them stayed home and were able to make the stop, and it's going to bring up a fourth down and about a yard and a half to go. So it looks like Newton County is going to go for it here on fourth down.
And you can hear the Ram fans give up an extra cheer. They like the fact that the Newton Rams are going to go for a first down, and I think that's a wise call considering they're this deep in Brookwood territory, and they want to try to break that deadlock on the scoreboard, that 0-0 score with 7:20 left in the second quarter. Stephen Smith gives to Jason Robbins, and I think he may have the first down. The officials have spotted the football about the 28-yard line. The first down marker is at the 29. They may have to measure this one. It's a first down, Newton Rams.
Good job there by the offensive line of Jason Robbins for the Newton County Rams. I was looking there at number 56, Torrance Brown, a guard there for the offensive line. He just did a tremendous job of pancake one of the Brookwood Broncos, one of the big guys. So he's fired up and he's ready to play.
So the Rams continue it now, 1st and 10 at Brookwood's 28-yard line. That defense of Brookwood gets tougher in their own territory. Jason Robbins carries the football here. Don't think he quite made it to the 25. He stumbled out and gained a yard or two.
Well, there's a purpose for that play right there. You may not pick up very much yardage, but it's a purpose because what happens is it makes your defensive end stay home. And if they can do that and manage to keep him staying home and pitch it to the left side, pitch it on the corner with Adrian or Cordell, that's going to help out. So that play doesn't pick up a whole lot of yardage, but it serves a big purpose.
Patrick Warren comes in with Stephen Smith. Danny Sisko comes out toward the sideline. Warren and Sisko split their time at wide receiver. Both have had excellent and very crucial catches throughout the year. Stephen Smith, a fairly good passing quarterback. We haven't seen much of it. Adrian Carr gets the pitch on the left side, gets one good block, spins out. He's at the 21 when he's finally brought down. It's a 5-yard gain. Now we're at 3rd down and 3 yards to go with the time continuing to tick. 6:10 left in the second quarter.
I think Coach Cook, he learned from last week not giving Adrian Carr the ball a lot last week, and I think that hurt a lot. Right now we're seeing Adrian carrying the ball a lot, and that's exactly what's going to have to happen tonight for Newton County. It's going to bring up a 3rd and about a long 4. Hopefully Newton County can stick it in.
So the Rams have 2 plays to make up the 4 yards. Jason Robbins cuts out toward the sideline. Got a new man in there as the fullback, Jamiko Usher, a junior. Smith in the offense, set to go. Carr takes it, looks for some room on this side. Think he's got the first down and passed, and out of bounds at the 13-yard line. He gains 9 yards, and the Rams have another first down, and Adrian Carr showing his true colors here in the big game, continuing the good, strong, positive gains upfield.
We're looking at a talented tailback. We're looking at 2 talented tailbacks on either side of the ball. Mark Townsend for the Brookwood Broncos and Adrian Carr. We haven't called his name as much as we really wanted to all year long, but it looks like tonight they put the ball in his hands, and it's going to be up to him to be a big factor in this ball game.
First down from Brookwood's 12-yard line. 5:34 left in the quarter. Taking the ball is Jamiko Usher. He has passed the 5 to the 4-yard line. Jamiko Usher, a junior, with his 2nd or 3rd carry of the season, gains a good 7 yards and had a good fullback style there, running straight up the middle.
Oh, he's your prototype fullback, a big guy wearing the number 44. You see tailbacks back there with fullbacks back there with 85 and 25. You need a tailback or a fullback back there with number 44. A big built guy like Jamiko Usher. He's short, kind of squatty. Looks like Robert Newhouse. Robert Newhouse wore number 44 for the Dallas Cowboys. Kind of reminds me of him. Had a real big gain there. It's going to bring up a big second down play for the Newton County Rams.
Second down from Brookwood's 4-yard line. Smith takes the ball. He's going to keep it himself. Running toward the sideline. Close. Don't think he quite got the touchdown. They're marking it right now. He's down at about the 2-foot line. So a gain of 3 yards and a foot or so. And the Rams at about the 2-foot line, knocking on the door for a touchdown.
That's exactly right, Kevin. They're going to give Newton County a first down, so they're going to have 4 shots at it right here. What they've got to do is just hold that ball. You don't ever want to call it, but they've got to hold tight on that ball. The Brookwood Broncos are very well coached. I'm sure they've been coached to strip and fight and bite and everything, and Newton County needs to stick it in here and go on top.
First down from Brookwood's 2-foot line. Smith in the offense, set to go. Jason Robbins going over the top. Touchdown, Newton Rams. Jason Robbins goes in, capping a big, huge drive that ate off a ton of clock and gave the Rams 6 points on the scoreboard, showing the home fans, the visiting fans, and everyone in the area that these Rams came here to compete with the number 5 team in the state.
That's exactly right. Looking down there, Adrian Carr's coming off. He looks tired, and that's going to send someone out on the field kind of late. You can't really do that. I think that out there, Tori Maddox, a sophomore, is out there, and you got to get them out there, and you don't want to make a mistake. You want to get this conversion and go up by 7.
So Billingsley will be on to convert the extra point. Snap good, hold good, kick up and kick is good. 7-0 your score with the Newton Rams on top. Homer Stark Stadium crowd going wild as the Rams up by a touchdown. We're going to be back. More Newton Ram football after this on WGFS AM 1430.
East Metro Communications is your local authorized agent for AirTouch Cellular, and we have been since 1986. That's right, 1986, when cellular service first came to Covington. So if you are shopping for a cellular phone or cellular phone accessories, stop by East Metro Communications and see Brenda, Tom, Bert, or Joe, and let them show you the wide selection of brand name cellular phones available. When you purchase a cellular phone from East Metro Communications, our main goal is customer satisfaction. We have received 12 different awards from AirTouch Cellular for outstanding performance. Stop by East Metro Communications today. We are located on Highway 278, a quarter-mile east of the hospital in Covington, or call us at 786-6796. East Metro Communications Incorporated, an authorized agent for AirTouch Cellular. The new name for Pactel.
Homer Sharp Stadium, where Wes Billingsley is kicking off and kicks it right into the end zone, and a touchback, and that'll give a little extra confidence to the Newton Rams. That last drive, Paul Dailey, 14 plays, 81 yards, and a ton of clock eaten off. It's now 4:23 left in the first half with the Rams up 7-0.
That's a classic Jack Cook drive right there. Just a couple of yards, a cloud of dust. Get about a big gain, 6 or 7 yards, and then a cloud of dust, another 3-yard cloud of dust. That's classic Jack Cook football, and his game plan is going really well for him tonight. Hopefully his defense out here can stick it in, and Brookwood's very talented. You just got to get that secondary ready.
So Brookwood will take over at their own 20-yard line. Sean Phillips leads the offense. 2 backs, 2 wide receivers, a man in motion. That's Hopkins on first down. The pass is up, and it is going to be incomplete. We may see a flag. The intended receiver was David Cook. A couple of Newton Ram folks giving pressure there, but the pass incomplete on first down.
Number 58, Courtney Williams, just put a powerful move there on the offensive line, went right by him and punished Sean Phillips, the quarterback for Brookwood, just punished him, put him flat on his back. Good call by the referee of a no call. The referee looked like he was going to drag out of his pocket with a hanky, but decided not to, and that's a very good call. Big aggressive play there by Courtney Williams.
One of the things that was a key for the Newton Rams was to keep Brookwood off the field. The Rams have run 21 plays from scrimmage. Brookwood running their 15th right now. That shows up positive in the scoreboard as the Rams up by 7. Sean Phillips and that Brookwood Bronco offense set to go. Think the ball's on the ground. Townsend was carrying the football. It's at the 18-yard line. We'll check and see who they say has the football. Haven't seen a signal yet from the referees as they try to bring the folks off the pile. They're at the 18-yard line. Newton Ram football. Once again, Mark Townsend has fumbled the football. He's having probably his worst night of the year so far, and the Rams in Brookwood territory. First down.
Oh, he's tremendously frustrated. He's kind of walking off the field. I don't know if he's mad at his offensive line or mad at himself. He needs to be mad at himself. His offensive line is not carrying the ball for him. They may not be blocking to his preference, but he's the one carrying the ball, and he's having a frustrating night. The coaches are talking to him, but that's something Newton County's got to take advantage of. We said earlier, if Brookwood makes mistakes and Newton County capitalizes, that's one of the ways that they can win this football game, and they're doing a good job of it.
Now what the Rams will need to do is to eat as much time off the clock as they can. Brookwood's passing game can score them touchdowns in a hurry, so the Rams will try to keep as much time as possible. Cordell Benton takes a pitch on first down. Gains a couple of yards on the right side. Stephen Smith's pitch was a little bit high. Benton had to stop for a moment and gather it in.
You're right. He made a good reception there. Cordell Benton did of the bad pitch by Stephen Smith. The offensive line's got to do a little bit better job of pushing the Brookwood Broncos back. They can't be satisfied with 7 points because 7 points is not going to win this football game. They've got to punch it down here. They don't want to really come out of here with 3 points either. With this good a field position and this late in the half, you want to stick it in there for at least 6 or 7 points, and hopefully the Newton County can do that.
3:05 now left in the half. Adrian Carr takes the ball, has a good block, has some running room at the 10, at the 5, at the 4, and brought down. And there's a possible first down. Yes, it will be for the Rams. Another 12-yard gain from Adrian Carr. Quite simply, he is the big-time back, the big game breaker for the Rams.
He definitely is. He's got a lot of talent. He's got a lot of good vision, great speed, great quickness. If he just hold on to that ball, and he's done a good job of it tonight. Had one mishap, but if he can just hold that football, the offensive line continue to do what they're doing, Newton County can be real successful.
The Newton Rams have had 6 first downs here in the second quarter alone. Jason Robbins, no, make that Patrick Gaither, takes the play on first down, and he may have lost a yard or may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage as Brookwood on top of that in a hurry. 2.5 minutes left.
Patrick Gaither got punished right there, number 44 there for the Brookwood Broncos at West Sworn. He just came right up there and punished Patrick Gaither. No blocking on that side of the football, so hopefully the Newton County offensive line can push him in here, maybe put Adrian on the corner.
Stephen Smith has been out there the entire first half. He gives to Adrian Carr, who gets hit hard and brought down by Wes Zwern. Zwern came in and hit Carr in the ankles and kind of twisted him around. There's going to be a timeout taken here by the Newton Rams. While they take this timeout, we're going to do exactly the same. More exciting Newton County Rams football after this on WGFS AM 1430.
Excuse me, sir. How did you fall in love with Pippin's Barbecue?
Oh, it's a tender love story. First, I went a-courting with an appetizer.
Must have been the hot wings.
Yep, then I got engaged to an entree.
The tender baby back ribs?
Yep, and now I'm a happily married man. Although I have been known to flirt with dessert.
Our food and our service just can't be beat. You're gonna love what you eat.
Pippin's Barbecue. Highway 20 South in Conyers and on Alcovey Road in Covington.
Back with 2 minutes and 4 seconds remaining in the first half. Your Newton County Rams up 7-0 against the number 3 ranked team in the state, the Brookwood Broncos. Back with your play-by-play, Kevin Holden.
Yes, we have brought you an exciting home game as the Newton Rams tackle those big Brookwood Broncos, and right now the Rams with a 7-point lead. Just over 2 minutes left, as you mentioned, Paul. Third down for the Rams here on Brookwood's 3. What kind of player are we looking for? Prognosticator, the man himself.
Well, with the Brookwood Broncos in a goal line stance right there, I believe I'd put you at Adrian on the weak side.
Stephen Smith going over center. Britt Mask takes it, gives it to Jason Robbins, and touchdown Newton Rams. Just as the 2-minute time clock ticked down, 1 minute 59.9 seconds now left. 6 more points for the Rams, making it 13-0. Robbins goes up for 3 yards and the touchdown. Jason Robbins, a senior, has scored both touchdowns for the Rams tonight.
Well, good thing Coach Cook's not listening to me, but that was a good call there, a good effort by Jason Robbins. He was actually stopped on the line of scrimmage, but fought and struggled and just struggled to get in the end zone, and that's where the weightlifting and the off-season training pays off, and it just paid off for Newton County and also Jason Robbins.
He worked harder in the preseason and therefore got the extra couple of yards and put 6 more points on the scoreboard. There's a flag on the field. West Billingsley was on to attempt the extra point. We'll check the call.
I think it's going to be too many men on the field for the Brookwood Broncos. Coach Cook needs to make a decision here. Is he going to go ahead and go for the 1, or is he's going to bring it a little bit closer to the goal line, so he may decide to go for 2. Still West Billingsley's out there. Let's see what the call is going to be.
2 penalties against Brookwood so far in the half for a total of 17 yards. You know the 1 15-yard penalty against them on a first down play after an 11-yard run hurt them because that was key in setting up Jason Robbins' 1-yard run for the touchdown. The Rams will go for 1 here with Billingsley. Snap good, hold is good, kick is up, and it is good. 14-0 your score. The Newton Rams on top of the Brookwood Broncos here at Homer Sharp Stadium as the crowd, which has filled the stands actually quite well, going wild here. A 2-touchdown lead. More exciting Newton Rams football after this on WGFS AM 1430.
Ladies and gentlemen, you don't want to miss out on these new arrivals at Hayes Furniture Company of Covington. They have a new shipment of gun cabinets just in time for the holidays. Hayes Furniture has corner cabinets and curio cabinets. And to help you ladies keep the house clean, Hayes has a wide selection of Hoover vacuum cleaners, upright and canister styles, along with shampooers and steam cleaners with supplies of bags and belts. That's right at Hayes Furniture on Washington Street, Covington, 786-3737.
Barn burner here at Homer Sharp Stadium in Covington, Georgia, where the Newton County Rams are up 14-0 over the Brookwood Broncos with 1 minute 59 seconds left in the first half. Back with your play-by-play, Kevin Holden.
Thank you very much, Paul Dailey. Thank you very much. 2 minutes left. West Billingsley will be kicking off, and just as the pandemonium hits its height, the ball falls off the tee, and we get to do this all over again. Brookwood has 3 men back, 1 man straight in the middle, standing on the 5-yard line. That is Anthony Gambini, a man who has been in and out on offense for the Brookwood Broncos. A top 5 team in the state, and the Rams leading that team by 2 touchdowns in the first half. Billingsley's kick bounces at the 25 and is taken at the 15-yard line out to the 20. Now at the 27-yard line, the man is brought down. Hopkins took the football at the 15 rather, and gained out to the 27, a 12-yard gain.
This is the most fired up I've seen the Newton County Rams playing all year long. I wasn't there to see them against Weiner-Barra, but right now they're playing really aggressive football, and that's what it takes. You got Jamaica Usher going in there a couple series ago at fullback and going and making a big play. All those guys are flying around, and that's exactly what it takes. Courtney Williams, Jason Robbins, Kevin Johnson doing a good job on the defense, and it's just a great time for football.
Now, if you're the Brookwood Broncos, you've got 1 minute and 34 seconds to move at 73 yards. On the first down play, they pitch to Townsend, who has some running room. He's past the 30, out to the 40, and knocked out of bounds. That's a good 13-yard gain from Townsend, and getting out of bounds helps it because it stops the clock.
Good job there by Corey Maddox, number 7. He's back here playing for Gary Brown, and made a big stick on Mark Townsend, but he picked up a big gain, so he's going to be satisfied with that. One thing you got to do, you got to keep Mark Townsend frustrated. He's a quality back. He's going to get his yards. You just got to keep him frustrated, and hopefully Newton County can keep the Brookwood off the board here in the first half.
Brookwood stats for the second quarter: 15 yards total, 2 fumbles, none recovered. Phillips looking to pass. On the first down play, the pass is up. The receiver fell down, tried to make a last play. It's intercepted by Alex Watley. He is at the 42 and brought down. The intended receiver was Hopkins. Hopkins fell down, tried to jump and make the play, touched the football briefly, but Watley, for the second big game in a row, picks off a pass. You know, he had a big pick against Winder in the first half.
Good job there by Alex Watley. He was actually had great coverage. Adam Hopkins for the Brookwood Broncos fell down, was able to get back up and make a play at the ball, but he tipped it up just enough for Alex Watley to make a big reception, and that's those drills they practice in practice all week long, the tip drill, and that paid off for the Newton County Rams. It's going to bring up 1st and 10 on the Brookwood 43-yard line.
Third turnover of the quarter for the Brookwood Broncos team. Wishbone formation, first down. Patrick Gaither takes it straight up the gut to the 40-yard line. Ball's on the ground. Brookwood signaling that it's their football. We've yet to see something from the officials. T.J. Harper sticks out an arm in Newton's direction just to have an opposing vote, I think. And Brookwood appears to be celebrating. It's Brookwood Bronco football. Patrick Gaither on first down went up the gut for 3 yards and lost the football.
He got stuck there by number 44, Wes Warren. We've called his name a couple of times. Just got stuck, and Patrick just having a tough night. He had a really good first half against Shiloh, and he's just having a really tough night here against the Brookwood Broncos. They're a totally different team, and Newton County is right back out on the field, and it looks like the Brookwood Broncos are going to call a timeout.
While they take a timeout, we are going to keep it here. 52 seconds remaining in your first half. The ball is on the 41-yard line. Brookwood 52 seconds to move 59 yards. But, Paul, the passing game will help them out.
That's exactly right, and they got a very powerful offense. While we got the time right here, we had someone come up to the booth, and Mr. T.J. Harper wanted to celebrate a late birthday to his dad, Tommy Haley, down there. So happy late birthday to Tommy Haley down there.
Hopefully he's got his radio with him and he's listening to us right now.
Yeah, he's waving to us. He's one of those fine WGFS AM 1430 listeners, and he's got his headsets every home game, and also probably listens to us on the away games. So we appreciate that and hope you have a happy birthday.
Of course, Paul, as you know, all of our listeners are fine listeners, so we won't have any trouble with that. 52 seconds left in your first half. Brookwood starting at their own 41 with Phillips and a 3-wide-out offense. The Ram defense has been sparkling in the first half. Hope we haven't jinxed them. Passes up, and it may be complete in Newton territory at the 37, complete. Caught by David Cook. Another terrific play by the receiver as he fell down to catch the football.
Brookwood's got a talented offensive team. They can not only can run the ball, they're having a lot of trouble running the ball against this tough Newton County defense, but they've had a lot of success on the Newton County secondary. And this is going to bring up really good field position. There's 45 seconds left here in the first half. Brookwood's going to call another timeout, but Newton County's got to make some kind of adjustment there in their secondary to be able to stop the Brookwood Broncos.
Now Brookwood is on Newton's 37-yard line. 45 seconds left, so they moved the ball 22 yards and ran about 6.5 seconds off the clock. That gives you an idea of how quick they can move this offense. Number one, the Rams have been able to stop Mark Townsend, which is the number one thing you need to do to beat the Brookwood Broncos. The Brookwood Broncos went to the air. They had a couple of big completions late in the first quarter, but the Rams have come up, stopped the pass in good shape, and continued to stop Townsend. Then they picked a pass off with Alex Watley. So right now, Brookwood's got to be frustrated. They're having trouble with both the run and the pass.
And Newton Canyon's in their prevent defense. They've got to get a little bit better rush out of their defensive front and maybe cause Sean Phillips a little bit of frustration. Actually, Newton Canyon's not in their prevent defense. They're back in their base 50, so we'll see what happens.
So Phillips from the Ram 37, once again looking to pass with 4 wideouts. The pass is up, complete to the 28-yard line and tackled at the 27-yard line. The wideout was the one on the far side, Chad Blackwell, making the reception.
Brookwood's not going to call a timeout. They're going to kind of try to get to the ball. Looks like the referee's going to call their own time there to see if it's going to be a first down. It looks like they may measure, and as they do, I think they're going to bring the chain gang out.
Well, a 14-0 lead here from the Newton Rams, and this is something big because all of the folks here at Homer Sharp Stadium who came to the ball game, certainly Newton Ram fans, at least on this side, and wanted to see a good ball game tonight, but I have a feeling a lot of them may not have had very much confidence in the Newton Rams coming up against a team like Brookwood, but I think the Rams have changed that in a hurry.
Yeah, I think the Brookwood Broncos are going to have to make several adjustments there at halftime. Maybe they come in a little bit overconfidence against this Newton County Ram offense and defense, and but we got 33 seconds left, and Brookwood's threatening right here. Newton County needs to keep them out of the end zone and needs to keep them off the board, and that will be a big booster here and going in after the first half.
33.3 seconds left. Second down for Brookwood on Newton's 28-yard line. They're several inches short of the first down after the measurement, so they'll have 3 plays to try to pound it across, but they don't have much time to do that, and they have only 1 timeout remaining. The Rams have 2 timeouts remaining. And the clock begins once again as Phillips goes over center, and we're under 30 seconds in the half, and another passing play. The pass is up. It is a high one, and it is up and incomplete. The intended receiver was Adam Hopkins, the man who came up and made a terrific hit, the young sophomore Maddox.
Katori Maddox is doing a wonderful job back there. He's in there for Gary Brown. I don't really know where he's at, but Katori Maddox is in there. Hadn't played a whole lot this year. He's only a sophomore, 5'11", 160 pounds, but he has punished a couple of people. He punished Mark Townsend earlier on the sideline, and he just punished Adam Hopkins there on that deep pass. Got very lucky that Adam Hopkins didn't make that reception. He's a very good receiver. Got great hands. Several of these Brookwood receivers got great hands, but Newton County's Katori Maddox has done a wonderful job.
Paul, as you know, sophomores and juniors in high school grow quite a bit. Katori Maddox doesn't look 5'11". He looks a good 6'1" or 6'2", either that or he's against a real short wide receiver. Another passing play, 21 seconds left. The pass is up, incomplete. The intended receiver this time around, Anthony Gambini, but it was up over his head and tipped and incomplete, and with 18.6 seconds left, we got 4th down for Brookwood.
He's definitely a little bit taller than 5'11". It looks like Gary Brown out there wearing a different jersey, but the number 7 out there, we know Gary Brown's number 3. But Katori Maddox is definitely a lot taller than 5'11". This program came out, pre-season, so maybe he's grown 4 or 5 inches during the season.
It is a distinct possibility. 4th down for Brookwood at Newton's 28. We're going to have a field goal attempt, maybe, from David Marler. The quarterback Phillips will hold. Marler's field goal attempt is up, and it's going to be good. And it had several yards to spare. That was a 45-yard attempt there from David Marler, who boots it straight through. 45-yard field goal. It's 14-3.
Whenever you have a team like Brookwood, you're definitely going to have a good kicker. The tradition that Brookwood has up there in football, they've been very successful over the last 6 or 7 years. And guys want to come out for football, and the kickers, all these successful programs around the state like Valdosta, Clark Central in the past have had great kickers, and Brookwood has brought one down here tonight.
So with 13.6 seconds left, your score? The Newton Rams 14, the Brookwood Broncos 3, and by the way, that brings to 9 the number of points that the Rams have allowed at home all year. This is their 4th home game. They've been allowing an average of 2 points per game at home. So Brookwood, yes, they've scored 3, and that ratio will be moving up just a tad when the statistics are refigured after this one's over with. The kickoff this time around for the Brookwood Broncos has back to receive Adrian Carr, Cordell Benton. 13.6 seconds left with their explosive speed. You never know what might happen. Brookwood kicking off. It's a little squib kick, which is going to be bounced and taken at the 28 by Patrick Warren. He gains a good 12 yards, has good speed, but he gets hit and brought down by Chris Miller.
if you have a play like that, you don't want it to go in anybody else's hands but Patrick Warren's. He's proven, him and Danny Cisco, that they've got wonderful hands. That ball just kind of rolled up into his hands, and Newton County has a safe play there, and it's going to bring up first down on their own 39.5-yard line, and I think the half is just going to run out.
Coach Cook will let the clock run out, so first down on the Rams' 40-yard line will not happen. And there goes the clock, and the first half is over. And here sit the Newton Rams leading a top 5 state team with the Brookwood Broncos by 11 points at halftime. 14-3 your score. You folks that are shocked, don't be. The Newton Rams have played tremendous football all year, and they've shown it to the home fans here in the first half. We've got plenty coming up for you at halftime, including the Blue Rambler Band Show, showcasing that fine Newton Blue Rambler Band. Also, the Big Dog is gearing up for the Big Dog's picks at halftime. We'll hear the main prognosticators' picks for college and pro games, and we'll discuss percentages when the time comes. We'll also have some statistics of the first half and talk about just about anything. Stay tuned. WGFS
Trophies. It's all under one roof at Ludy's Sports Shop in the Newton Plaza Shopping Center in Covington. 787-3014. Ludy's Sports Shop. 787-3014. Charles Evans Nissan refuses to be undersold. We will meet or beat any advertised price on any in-stock unit. If you are tired of high pressure and the runaround, come to Charles Evans Nissan in Conyers. We put the fun back into buying a car. Charles Evans Nissan is located at 1420 Irish Drive in Conyers. 922-7600. Remember, Charles Evans Nissan. We won't be undersold. That's 922-7600. Carroll's Floor Covering of Covington has everything you need for covering any floor in your home: carpet, vinyl, tile, or hardwood. With 35 years experience, interior designer available. Custom work is our specialty. We're not the largest, just the nicest. Carroll's Floor Covering is inviting you to come by and take a look at the many samples we have in stock to choose from. Carroll's Floor Covering, located at 1393 Access Road in Covington. 786-7700, 786-7700.
At Courtesy Ford in Conyers, we have started our year-end clearance early because we are overstocked by approximately $2 million with the best selection of new Ford cars and trucks in the area. If you are looking for a new car or truck, forget list price, forget 6% over invoice, forget $100 over invoice. At Courtesy Ford, you only pay factory invoice. For a pleasurable buying experience, visit the House of Courtesy, where we're never satisfied until you are. We're conveniently located just off I-20 East at exit 41 in Conyers.
Well, I've had a piece of chicken. I've had a little drink. I've looked at all the girls, given one or two a wink. I'm sitting in my seat, radio to my ear. The Star-Spangled Banner and the crowd's opening cheer. I've been waiting since last Saturday to see another one beat. Friends, it's time once again to let the big dog eat. It's time.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to let the big dog eat. It's the Big Dog's Picks. And we picked that one out of the closet. We had to dig way back there for that one. Paul Dailey, always also known as the Big Dog and always known as the Big Dog, the man who also gives us the Big Dog's Picks.
Well, thanks, Kevin. That's a pretty good intro. I appreciate that. I wasn't expecting that, especially with the average that I've had over the last 8 weeks. We'll jump right into the Big Dog's Picks. Let's go back to last week where Big Dog only picked 3 games in his frustration of his yearly average. Big Dog... The game was Georgia at Kentucky. Big Dog picked Georgia by 10. Big Dog lost. Georgia did win the game, but barely snuck by. Big Dog loses that game. Georgia Tech at Maryland. Big Dog went with the Gators, won big time over Atlanta Falcons. So Big Dog won that one. So 1 out of 3. So the percentages are not good, but I like that pro percentage, so maybe I start just picking just pros from now on. The average on college picks is sub 50%, so we're not going to say how much sub below 50 that is. This week's games, we're going to have 5 college games and 1 pro game. We're going to pick Georgia at Florida. The line is 22 for Florida. Big Dog is going to pick Georgia. Georgia can. I don't think Florida's going to cover 22 points. I'm not going to say Georgia's going to win the game, but I think they'll cover the 22 points. NC State at North Carolina. Oh, the Wolfpack. I hate to go against the Wolfpack right here, but they're playing at Chapel Hill. I got to go. The line is only 5 points with North Carolina. I'm going to have to go with the Tar Heels at home. I hate to do it, but Tar Heels will win this one. Duke at Florida State. Duke is undefeated and is underdogs by 23 points to Florida State. I'm going to pick Duke. I don't think Florida State's going to cover the 23. Tennessee at South Carolina. The line is Tennessee in 7. I'm going to go with Tennessee to beat South Carolina real big. Tennessee has had a couple of bad weeks. They're going to come out big against South Carolina. Arkansas at Auburn. Auburn's one of the toughest teams in the nation. However, they got some illegal players there. Whenever you have illegal players, you got to be good. So the line is Auburn by 12. I think that'll be plenty to beat Arkansas. So I'm going to go with Auburn. And the last pick, the pro pick, which I am 100% on, staying away from the Falcons, we're going to go with the Minnesota Vikings at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The line is Minnesota in 6.5. I think Minnesota with Jake Reed, the former Newton County player, I think that'll be plenty of points for Minnesota. I'm going to go with Minnesota. So there you are. The Big Dogs picks for week number 9.
Yes, you can breathe easy, ladies and gentlemen, because the Big Dog has made his picks and shocked at least one person here in the press box, and so you're going to have to go talk to that man over there for just a moment. And while you do, we'll have a chance to talk to the president of Newton County's Touchdown Club, the president of the Ram Touchdown Club, and a man who I'm sure is happy to be right here at halftime. Sam Johnson. Sam, 14-3 right now. The Rams up on the Brookwood Broncos. We had been looking for the Rams to play a good, strong home game. They've been playing well at home all year, and they continue the good playing at home. But with Brookwood coming in, this is a team unlike any we've faced all year. It's probably the best team we're going to face this year, or one of the best, but the Rams coming out strong early.
Well, Kevin, I think the Rams have played an excellent ball game. We're quite capable of performing that way. We've been a little inconsistent. Last week we was a little inconsistent and played a very good Shiloh team. The last part of our schedule is a very tough one. We're playing some quality teams, and Brookwood is certainly one of the top teams in this state, and they'll be tough the second half. We still got 2 quarters to go.
That's exactly right, and we can look for Brookwood, I'd imagine, to pass the ball quite a bit more in the second half.
Well, when you've got Mark Townsend, you're going to give him the ball. He's subject to break one anytime, and he's a big-time player, and they're certainly going to continue to use Mark, and rightfully so. And they're probably going to throw the ball on us a little bit, and I'm really excited for this second half. This county needs this kind of football in it. This is 2 great teams, and the fans are fantastic, both sides. And this is what high school football is all about in the state of Georgia.
Sam, you were down there on the field during the first half. You've got to tell me the reaction on the field and on the sideline for the Ram players when 2 plays happened. Number 1, Mark Townsend's first fumble setting up 1 Ram score. Number 2, Mark Townsend's other fumble. When the Rams recovered the ball both times, what was the feeling like on the sideline?
Well, we felt like we had to play solid defense. When you've got a great player like Mark Townsend, you have to defense him. You're not going to stop him. You just have to slow him down. We needed some turnovers. We've been bad about laying the ball down. We laid it down ourselves twice in the first half. We recovered 1 and lost 1 there before halftime. So, they were excited. Anytime you get a turnover, it doesn't matter who it is, you're excited. Brookwood was excited when we fumbled and they recovered, and our guys are excited. You've got to take opportunities like that, though, Kevin, and you got to make something happy with them. And tonight we've done that. We hadn't done it in the past.
What sort of adjustments do you think the Rams might make in the second half?
Well, we're definitely going to keep running the ball. With Adrian Carr, Adrian's one of the best, I believe, in the state of Georgia also. He doesn't get the publicity that a lot of guys get, but Adrian can break one at any moment. And he's got great speed, great agility, and balance, and, you can't just arm tackle him. We're going to keep running Adrian. Probably continue to go to the fullback a little bit more, although they played a little tight on us on the inside. I don't know if you'll see Jack throw the ball. Jack likes to throw the ball when Jack gets ready to throw the ball, not when everybody else gets ready to throw the ball. So we need to run the clock. We need to play tough defense. You win championships with defense and kicking. I think West Billingsley has kicked the ball awfully well tonight, and you do that, and it's going to be a tight game. I think this is going to still be an outstanding finish.
Sam Johnson, I thank you for joining us. And by the way, the superstition, we resumed the superstition. I heard last week that you were in the locker room at halftime for the first time all year, and of course we know what happened, so I'm glad you're here, and for future reference, just stay up here at halftime.
Kevin, I'm going to come and listen to the big dog give his picks, and I don't agree with you, man. I think Georgia's got a chance with Florida, even though Florida had a week off, and they're playing on national TV, and I could have told him last week when he picked Tech he was picking the wrong thing, but I mean, I appreciate y'all being here and calling the game, and I'm not going in the locker room. I'm going to stay away. I done two things last week. Coach Stanley Allen usually gives me 2 packs of gum, and he didn't do that last week, and I hadn't been in the locker room for halftime or just before the game, so I told Coach Cook I was going to stay myself down here near the field and stay away from those guys. Let them do what they're great at doing.
Superstition is a crazy thing, but it still is something that we follow and something that works. Sam, once again, thank you very much,
and
hope to see you again next week at halftime.
I hope we can talk to you about a win next week.
Sounds good to me. We'll be back and give you your first half stats. They're positive. Of course, the stat that means the most. Newton 14, Brookwood 3 at halftime. Back after this.
If you bury your nose in a cloud of sawdust and breathe deep, you're going to get choked up. Unless you're the new Husqvarna 36 chainsaw with air injection filtering, now available at Coast to Coast Home and Auto. Husqvarna's exclusive air injection saws run up to 20 times cleaner than any other saw on the market. With the Husky 36, you can work harder and longer without stopping for a filter change. What's more, an ergonomic design means that you can last nearly as long as your Husky. An angled front grip puts you in a comfortable working position that's less prone to fatigue, and vibration is kept to a minimum by separating the handles and engine unit. At only $199.95, you can't buy a better saw for home or farm than the Husqvarna 36 with air injection. So to keep your nose clean, stop by Coast to Coast Home and Auto on the Square in Covington to see the 36 and our entire line of quality Husqvarna products.
There once was a lady who lived in a shoe. She had so many children she knew not what to do. So to Newton Federal Savings and Loan she went and found out that she did not have to rent. She was told of an affordable real estate loan and moved out of the shoe and into a home.
At Newton Federal, a real estate loan to fit your budget is as simple as a nursery rhyme. We lead you all the way through the process, making it easy to understand with helpful, knowledgeable service. You can get into the home you really want if you first get into Newton Federal. With affordable rates and a finance plan to fit most any budget, our real estate loans are the keys to the house of your dreams. Come see how we're leading the way.
For all that you do at work or play, you know we'll be leading the way.
Newton Federal Savings and Loan, leading the way at 3175 Highway 278, Covington. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
To Homer Sharp Stadium here in Covington, Georgia, where it's the Newton Rams and the Brookwood Broncos at halftime. And the news is good if you're a Newton Ram fan. Your score is Newton High School 14, Brookwood High School 3. And that is something that a lot of people didn't expect out of the Newton Rams, but the Rams have come out strong here against the Brookwood Broncos. And if they win this game and do well in their next two and hopefully win those next two, they would win the region championship, the sub-region championship, and play at home in the first round of the playoffs. But, of course, that's weeks and weeks away, and we won't concentrate on that at all. We'll concentrate on the second half of this game. And first of all, we'll talk about the first half. And here are your statistics for half number one. The big story for the Rams, when they want that win against the big team, they go to Adrian Carr. And Adrian Carr has carried the ball 11 times, putting it in overdrive for 57 yards. Now, the man who scored the touchdowns, Jason Robbins, 6 carries for 11 yards, but he has 2 scores. Of course, both of those came from very, very short distances, so they gave to Jason to just plow up the middle and score the touchdowns. Stephen Smith with 4 carries, a total of 18 yards there. Patrick Gaither, 4 carries for 8 yards and a fumble. Jamiko Usher touched the ball once for 8 yards. Cordell Benson a carry for 2 yards. All in all, the Rams 27 carries, 94 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 fumble. That's a pretty good ratio, especially against a tough Brookwood defense. Now, we'll talk about the Rams passing game. Okay, we just talked about the Rams passing game. Now we'll move on along here. That's right, no passing yards for the Rams. And we'll move along now to Brookwood, who has had a lot of trouble with the rushing game. Mark Townsend, 11 carries, the same number as Adrian Carr has had. Carr, 57 yards, Townsend, 30 yards. And 2 fumbles. That's the key, because one of them set up a Newton Rams score. Sean Phillips carried the ball once, lost a couple of yards, so the rushing game for Brookwood, 28 yards in the first half. The Rams, yes, they've effectively stopped the run. As far as the passing game is concerned, Sean Phillips 4 for 9 for 80 yards. He did throw 1 interception, hasn't thrown a touchdown yet. Brookwood has only a field goal from David Marler for their 3 points. Now the Rams lead in first down 7-5. Rams haven't had a single penalty. Brookwood 2 penalties, 17 yards. In all-purpose yards, the Rams lead at 146 to 121. And Paul Dailey, that tells you the Rams are, instead of passing, the only thing that the Rams are not leading in this particular point of the game is passing yards. Everything else, the Rams on top.
Well, Kevin, what they tried to do is they tried to pass early in the first quarter, but it wasn't very successful. Stephen Smith rolled out a couple of times and picked up a big gain, one of the rollouts, and he was wanting to pass but decided to keep it. On another play, he just got sacked automatically, so the passing game wasn't there for him in the first quarter. But don't look for Newton County to abandon the pass. We've yet to see Kareem Maddox. Look for Stephen Smith to come back out here. Newton County has definitely got to try to pass to loosen up that defense and the linebackers for the Brookwood Broncos. You flip the ball over, you look at Mark Townsend. Mark Townsend is not going to be denied. He's going to get yards. He's had a very frustrating first half. He's probably in there. He's a cool, collected young man. He's going to be up there. He's going to be out here, and he's going to have a really good second half. Newton County's got to do exactly what they've done, just frustrate him. If they can frustrate him, that's the key to winning this ball game.
And Mark Townsend at this pace would gain only 60 yards rushing. And you know, if you hold Townsend to only 60 yards, you've got a terrific chance of winning this ball game. And as far as the Newton Rams, the defense, once again the story, holding a top 5 state team to only 3 points in the first half.
That's exactly right, and Newton County is doing a tremendous job. When you talk about Mark Townsend, you're talking about probably the best player in the state. When the things come out in December, look for Mark Townsend to be the player of the year in the state of Georgia in high school football. He's that good of a player, but he's just had a very rough first half, and hopefully he can't get his game together. I mean, I hate to say that against him, but if he can just leave here with 60 yards, and he can do whatever he wants to for the rest of the season as long as he's not playing Newton County. But Newton County is going to remain doing the same thing. Don't fix nothing that's not broke. They just got to do a little bit better job of doing their secondary. Sean Phillips has been pretty successful. Whenever you throw for 90 yards, you're doing pretty good. And Newton County never got into prevent defense there late in the second half. But hopefully Newton County's made some adjustments in their secondary and has told their defense linemen we've got to have more penetration from you guys also.
One interesting stat to pass along. This year, the Rams have played 3 teams that have been in the top 15. So far, those 3 teams combined have scored 9 points. The Rams shut out the number 10 ranked Redan Raiders, allowed Winder only 6 points when they were in the top 15. Brookwood also up there, 3 points at halftime. The Rams play their best football, Paul, against the better teams.
That's exactly right, and that's going to pay off later on the road if they can play good enough the next couple of weeks to get into playoff. Then those games from then on are all important. You know, they'd be in really good shape if they would have beat Lithia Springs, and they would have been in excellent shape if they would have beat Shiloh. But now they're in a rough situation. But Brookwood is another rough situation. They're ranked number 3 in the state, and they're here in Newton County losing 14-3 at halftime. So I'm sure their coach has got them fired up. They're coming out onto the field. So I'm looking for a very intense second half.
And that second half will come to you right after this on WGFS AM 1430.
When you need insurance, here's the first thing you should do. Call your auto owner's agent. They are people just like you.
Join the millions who save billions the annuity way. Your auto owner's insurance agent can show you a safe and systematic way to save. Auto owners no-load tax-deferred annuities credit high interest earnings to your savings program. All auto owners' investments are of the highest quality. No junk bonds or real estate ventures. See your no-problem auto owner's agent and save the annuity way.
Call your auto owner's agent. They are people just like you.
See the Steele Jones Insurance Agency, located on Floyd Street, Southeast in Covington. Or call 786-9213.
Auto owners, the no-problem people.
Back live here at Homer Sharp Stadium. Thanks for tuning in to WGFS AM 1430. About to start the second half. The Newton County Rams on top of the Brookwood Broncos, 14-3. With the start of the second half, your play-by-play man, the one and the only, Kevin Holden.
Fortunately, there's none other because you'd wouldn't be able to tolerate more than one. I have a feeling. Wes Billingsley set to kick off. He is leading his team out on the field here to start the second half, and Newton is coming out as a more confident team. They can understand now that they can not only hang with the Brookwood Broncos, but be ahead of the Brookwood Broncos, and I think this is going to spark a little fire. Hopefully the Rams maintain the intensity in the second half. By the way, a little commentary about halftime. The Brookwood band, one of the largest bands we have seen in a mighty long time, they are still filing off the field as the second half kickoff gets underway. In fact, they won't be off the field before Wes Billingsley kicks the football to start the second half.
And one correction also, we made a lot of comments about Katori Maddox, number 7. That's actually Gary Brown out there. He got his jersey ripped during the pregame, and he's having to wear number 7. So Gary Brown is out there playing secondary and made a lot of big hits there in the first half, but he is number 7. So you people that thought Katori Maddox did a good job, well, he did, but he wasn't out there, and it's Gary Brown.
Wes Billingsley kicks off for the second half, an end-over-end kick that is near the end zone, taken at the 2-yard line by Gambini. Gambini has some running room. He's at the 20 by a couple of men, goes to the 30, runs right into Jamal Marks, who brings him down at the 30. It looked to me as if Anthony Gambini was looking for someone to hit instead of running away from someone.
What they did there, they brought the two secondary deep men. It looked like they might have tried to reverse, and that kind of hesitated the Newton County cover team. And he was able to run straight up the middle, and it's going to be good field position for the Brookwood Broncos on their own 31-yard line.
So the Broncos begin this drive 69 yards short of the goal line as they run their first play of the second half. We'll see if Brookwood decides to air it out. You get the feeling they will. They've gained 28 rushing yards so far in this game, where the Rams have gained nearly 100. It's been a defensive battle for the most part. Phillips over center to start the second half, pitches out toward Townsend, who has a little room on the side, is pushed out of bounds at about the 33. A couple of yards on the gain from Townsend, but the Ram defense pushed him over and over and over, then out of bounds.
Mark Townsend is, like we said earlier, 2/3 of the Brookwood Broncos offense. Sean Phillips and the receivers are the other 1/3. Of course, you got to give a lot of credit to the offensive line for the Brookwood Broncos, but look for Brookwood to put it in the hands of Mark Townsend. He is their money man. He's their big time player. They're going to make him work to get back in this ball game.
Second down, 8 yards to go here for Brookwood. Coming out to the sideline is Adam Hopkins. He made a couple of big receptions for Brookwood in the first quarter of this game.
Second down, 8 yards.
Brookwood goes with one wide receiver, 2 backs, and 1 man going in motion here as Phillips calls the signals. The give this time to Townsend, who falls forward for a couple of yards. Jason Robbins made a big hit on him at the line of scrimmage, but coming up and gaining a couple of more yards just by falling forward is Townsend, bringing up the third down.
Good job there by squeezing down by Kevin Johnson, the linebacker, and also Jason Robbins, the other inside linebacker. Marcelo Baines is doing a good job of standing up the big offensive lineman for the Brookwood Broncos. The 2 defensive ends, Telly Smith and also Greg Benson, have done a wonderful job in the first half. They got to continue that here in the second half.
Now 3rd down and 6 for your Brookwood Broncos. Your Newton Rams up in that 4-man front, then bringing a couple of men up, maybe looking to blitz here. Phillips is going to pitch out to no one. It's on the ground. Townsend takes the football. It's hit hard once, hit hard again, and Gary Brown brings him down. That's the number 7 version of Gary Brown, and Townsend very upset. Pounds his helmet in disgust as he goes toward the sideline. Phillips was pitching out, but no one was looking at him.
You hate to see that. You hate to see a player like Mark Townsend, his caliber, get frustrated like that, but it's got to be frustrating for him. Sean Phillips has made some very ill-advised moves by pitching the ball out there. The coaches are over there talking to Sean Phillips, but Mark Townsend's got to collect himself, but hopefully he can collect himself on the bus ride home. We don't want him to do it right now.
From the 33-yard line, it'll be a punt that goes past the 40 and takes a Brookwood bounce down to the 36-yard line. Robbie Norman, the punter, a senior, boots it a pretty good ways, but the Rams started in good position.
It's going to bring the Newton County offense on the field for the first time here in the second half. We look out there, we see Scott Blackstock, we see Torrance Brown, we see T.J. Harper, also Jason Robbins. Stephen Smith is going to start here in the second half. Richie Cleary out there, Adrian Carr, Cordell Benton. So this is the number one offense for the Newton County Rams.
Rams certainly will not let up because they know that an 11-point lead against a team like this is not nearly enough. They need to add some more on the scoreboard. The wishbone offense here for the Newton Rams as Stephen Smith on first down fakes the handoff, goes toward the near sideline, is stuffed and brought down by Trey McDaniel. Stephen Smith was looking for running room, continuing to run toward the sideline. Finally, McDaniel came up and gave him a good rip toward the sideline.
Good job. He's a quality player. Big number 82 for the Brookwood Broncos. He just read the play real well, playing defensive end for the Brookwood Broncos. Stephen Smith did a good job there of not pitching the ball to Adrian because he was covered as well from the secondary aspect of it. Ryan Farr for the Brookwood Broncos was out there with Adrian Carr. So good decision, even though it was a 2-yard loss.
So now a 2nd down and 12. The Rams with the one wide receiver set. Adrian Carr takes the ball, runs around the end to the 40 to the 45 and out of bounds. Short of a first down, but another impressive run from Adrian Carr looking upfield, and he's getting a good talking to here from Coach Jack Cook.
Coach Cook's probably sitting there saying, you know, son, you better settle down. You're a big-time player. Compose yourself, because Adrian kind of got up and was a little irritated that the guy hit him out of bounds. But it was a good, clean hit. Coach Cook's just trying to settle down his tailback because he's got to be a big factor here. He was a big factor in the first half, and he's got to continue that here in the second half.
Coach Cook wrapped up Adrian Carr like a linebacker. He had a pretty good hit there on Carr, maybe one of the best that Carr's taken all night. Wishbone formation once again for the Rams. On 3rd down, Adrian Carr takes the football. He has the first down, maybe. He's near the 47. It looks like he'll have that first down. Wes Swern, one of the people in for Brookwood on the tackle.
Adrian's just having a wonderful night. He's showing what kind of player he is against a number 3 ranked team in the state. Newton County's doing a great job with the offensive line of pushing those guys back. Brookwood seems to be frustrated again. And we've seen Mark Townsend going out. He's frustrated. The defensive line, they're frustrated. The only really player that's having a really big game for the Brookwood Broncos is number 44, Wes Warren, but he's yet to make a tackle here in the second half.
8 minutes, 38 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. I don't think Brookwood came in expecting a loss. They certainly have a great mystique about them and expect to win. That's why they're frustrated. Adrian Carr takes the ball and stuffed 6 or 7 Brookwood defenders on top of him. Adrian was spinning and spinning at the 46, trying to get outside, but he couldn't do it, and he's brought down.
Big defensive lineman there, Blake Shaw, number 73, did a good job of squeezing the play down. It was kind of like a little counter to Adrian Carr. Nothing there. Adrian just tried to squirm as much as he could and ended up losing about a half a yard. So it's going to bring up 2nd down and about 10.5 yards to go for a first down for Newton County.
Rams are in their own territory at their own 47. So far in this one, they have started a couple of drives in Brookwood territory, one after a Mark Townsend fumble at the 18. They ran that one in for a touchdown. Jason Robbins on a 3-yard carry. Robbins takes the football here, leaps forward for another 4 or 5 yards. He was tackled at the line of scrimmage, but ran a couple of steps and tried to leap forward, brought one of the Brookwood defenders with him a good 4 yards.
This is a big game there for Jason Robbins. His dad's here from Germany, watching him play. He watched him against Shiloh. He's got to be disappointed about the defeat, but Jason was really not healthy at the Shiloh game. He got in there and made a couple of big plays to get a first down for the Newton County Rams, but it just wasn't enough against Shiloh. But he's having a really big game offensively and defensively against the number 3 ranked Brookwood Broncos.
The Rams with the 11-point lead, taking the football and chewing up clock and driving slowly upfield. 3rd down and 4. Smith hands off to Robbins, now takes it back, is hit hard once, hit hard again, and tackled at midfield. He had handed the ball off to Jason Robbins. When Robbins got hit immediately, Smith took the ball back, but he got hit a couple of times, and he's tackled for a 4-yard loss.
That was a blown assignment by one of the offensive linemen for the Newton County Rams. Don't really know who that was, but it was definitely a blown assignment. Blake Shaw ran right up there in the middle, grabbed Jason Robbins and also Stephen Smith, both of them, and Stephen Smith took the ball back out and was able to pick up just a couple yards, but actually lost some yards. So big play by the Brookwood Broncos.
4th down, punting situation, and Wes Billingsley will be the man who will be doing the punting here for the Newton County Rams. The snap is a good one. The kick is off kind of high, and about the 30-yard line it's going to bounce. Hits off of Cordell Benton, who tips it back toward the 31-yard line, but that's the second time that a ball is hit off the lower part of Cordell Benton's body.
That would have been a good play if Wes Billingsley was kicking from the 35-yard line, because that would have backed him up maybe to the 4 or 5, but not the kind of kick that Wes Billingsley wanted to get off right there, especially in the middle of the field. And it's going to bring up good field position for the Brookwood Broncos. And also we see out there on the field that one of those little yellow hankies is hanging out there, so we'll wait on the call.
You know, those yellow hankies have done an excellent job of staying in the referee's pockets for the most part tonight. This is only the 3rd penalty called so far, and it's against the Rams.
That's going to be a 5-yard penalty against the Newton County Rams, and it's going to give Brookwood an extra little bit of yardage to start their offense, and that's something you don't want to do. You don't want to give Brookwood any extra yards because they're a quality team. Newton County is frustrating them so far here in midway through the 3rd quarter, so we'll wait and see what the call is going to be.
It'll be a first down here for the Brookwood Broncos, but we'll wait for the spot of the football. 6 minutes, 16 seconds left in your 3rd quarter of play. The Newton Rams scoring 2 touchdowns very close to one another in the 2nd quarter. Jason Robbins, a 1-yard run for a touchdown with 4:23 left in the second quarter. Another 3-yard run with 1:59 left in the second quarter. That put the Rams 2 touchdowns on the scoreboard. We see the ball still at the 36. Looked like the penalty may have been declined.
That's exactly right, Kevin. They declined the penalty. It's one of those mystery calls. They really didn't get a good look at the referee. Don't know what the call was. Maybe we can find out. But anyway, Brookwood declined.
And Brookwood takes it on their own 34-yard line, first down and 10. Phillips gives to Towns in the heart of the offense and stopped again. A 3 or 4-yard gain. 3 or 4 Ram defenders in there. A man making a hit, Courtney Williams, and Marcelo Baines also in there for your Newton Rams.
That just goes to show you that Brookwood knows that who's their main man. It's Mark Townsend. Even though he's been frustrated through this 3 quarters of football, guess who they go back to? They go right back to Mark Townsend. You know, like I said earlier, he's probably one of the best high school players in the state, and he is, you know, the Brookwood offense. So Brookwood is staying with him, even though it hadn't been successful here 3 quarters through this ball game. They're still going back to him.
The ball on the 37.5-yard line, so second down, 7.5 yards here for Brookwood. 2 wide receivers and 2 backs as Sean Phillips with plenty of options out there. He's had a tremendous passing game. Hasn't thrown one here in the second half yet, but when he does, you can bet he's going to gain some good yardage. Townsend takes the football, gets out of a couple of tackles past the 40 to the 42. A 4-yard gain, still short of the first down. It'll be third and about 3 yards.
Jason Robbins there on the tackle. He met Mark Townsend there a little bit off the line of scrimmage, and Mark Townsend was showing a little bit of strength there, and Jason just had him by the ankles, and the only thing that brought him down. No one else on the team would probably ankle tackle Mark Townsend, but Jason Robbins did a good job of holding on.
So the Newton Ram defense steps up here, trying to stop the Broncos. 3rd and short. It'll be 3rd and 2 to be exact. Gary Brown kind of playing that center field position, wearing the number 7 instead of number 3. His jersey was ripped, so he has changed jerseys. Sean Phillips taking the snap here and running around the left side, has the first down. Jason Robbins came straight up the middle. Phillips saw that, good vision of the field as he gained a good 4 or 5 yards.
They had a blitz on there. Jason Robbins was coming straight up the middle, gave it away a little bit too early, and Sean Phillips was a quality quarterback and saw it coming, so he knew what he could do is go around the corner. But Rico Williams was also blitzing, but he actually blitzed a little bit too much inside, and Sean Phillips was able to go around the corner and pick up the first down. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Brookwood Broncos on their own 46-yard line.
That's the 6th first down for Brookwood. The Rams had 6 first downs in the second quarter alone, to give you an indication. Here's a passing play up and complete to the 41-yard line. This pass complete to Adam Hopkins. Phillips, one of the more accurate passers we have seen in many years, makes a tremendous completion there, and big yardage as they're now in Newton territory at the 41.
Newton County's defense let down in 2 aspects right there. The defensive line did not rush very good, and also the linebackers didn't drop very well, and the secondary didn't cover. So actually you had 3 mishaps there. Newton County's got to make some kind of adjustment there in their secondary and also their linebackers. Really not even a play fake, so the linebackers got to read that a little bit quicker.
Time continues to tick away in the third quarter. We're under 4 minutes left to play. First down for Brookwood at the Newton 41-yard line. Townsend takes the ball on first down, and the ball is on the ground. He recovers at midfield. He's hit twice more and brought down for a big loss, at least 10 yards. Townsend is very, very upset with himself after that. When he fumbled the football, he got hit hard one time. Then it took a couple of more big hits, and now the Broncos, just like that, back behind midfield, second down.
Well, he has no one to blame but himself right there. He just mishap, a good stick there. He lost the ball. Mark Towns is just not really into this ball game, and that's fortunate for Newton County. That's going to back him up. It's going to be second in a country mile. But when you have Sean Phillips back there at quarterback, he can strike at any minute. So this is not really devastating for the Brookwood Broncos. 2nd and
20 here for Brookwood. And now that passing game becomes more important, and they're going to try to pass here. A big rush, but he has plenty of time. It's up, and it may be incomplete. Yes, it is the intended receiver this time around. We're checking.
Did a good job there of covering on the out route, and was a good play for the Newton County Rams.
Third down, 20 yards to go for Brookwood. So far in this half, Mark Townsend, 2 yards on 5 carries here in the second half. Once again, the Rams stopping big Mark Townsend. If you do that, you'll stop that Brookwood offense. Phillips this time pitches on the reverse. We may be looking for a passing play. Here's the pass up. It is incomplete. Adam Hopkins had the ball in his hands and dropped it. Alex Watley blew the coverage, but fortunately for him, the ball was dropped. The pass was attempted by David Cook, but incomplete. The man was open.
Oh, he sure was. Alex Wally got very lucky there. He made a mistake. He fell down, and the receiver there, Adam Hopkins, had a good chance at the ball, good chance for 6 points, and just missed it. A good play there, and Brookwood's just got to be frustrated. They just got to be frustrated. They're going to be lining up. It's 4th down. They're going to punt it away from Newton County.
Anytime that Brookwood punts, you know you've had a successful defensive drive, and another punt coming this time and fielded at the 20-yard line by Cordell Benson, called it for a fair catch as he fell down forward to the 21-yard line. The punt from Robbie Norman puts the Rams back deep in their own territory.
Cordell and Adrian Carr got to do a little bit better job talking to each other back there. Both of them were waving for a fair catch. Both of them approached the ball to make the catch. Good thing Cordell took charge there because Adrian Carr was right there with him. Could have been a mishap for Newton County. That's something you can't do. So Newton County has been very lucky on that last pass play that the guy dropped it, and very lucky there on the punt that Cordell Benton took charge and made the reception.
You know, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that the Rams are going to try to run the football quite a bit and move time off the clock. We'll see what happens. Adrian Carr goes in motion for the Rams in a different set. Kareem Maddox is your quarterback, and Patrick Gaither takes the ball and breaks free past the 30, near a first down to the 32. He broke right past the offensive line, had a good hole, and is close to that first down.
Well, Patrick Gaither's a quality back. He had a little frustrating first half there. Got hit hard a couple of times, was welcome to Quad A football several times. But kind of a gutsy call there by Coach Cook of putting Kareem Maddox in there after Stephen Smith has done such a good job in the first half and then the third quarter. So Kareem Maddox is out there leading the offense for the Newton County Rams.
Well, his first time up there, the Rams gain 11 with Patrick Gaither. So Maddox stays in. First down here as Carr takes it. Carr spins back inside, stays up to the 37, and brought back with the forward progress will give him a 5-yard gain.
I tell you what, Adrian Carr's got such good vision. He runs through the hole. He just looks around. He had nothing to the outside, turned it back in, was slanting. He's got good lateral movement. Adrian Carr is a quality back. If he can just learn to grab that ball a little bit harder and a little bit tighter, he's going to be a quality back, and probably we may be seeing him on some Saturday afternoon ball games.
The Rams with that 11-point lead, trying to pad the lead, but then again also trying to get as much time off the clock as possible. And with Brookwood's passing offense, that's a wise plan. Cordell Benton takes the ball here, has some room on the right side. He's past the 40, and the little scat back gain close to a first down.
I tell you what, Cordell Benton is also really quick. He's got good vision. He's a lot smaller than Adrian Carr. Probably not as quick and lateral as Adrian Carr is, but he's a quality back, small, and he just was a little bit too quick for the defensive line for the Brookwood Broncos. And this is going to bring up third down. It's going to be very close, and they're going to bring out the chain game.
It's gotten downright cold at Homer Sharp Stadium. Kareem Maddox, the quarterback, keeping his hands in his pockets, keeping him warm, just in case he may be called on to throw the football that 1 or 2 times that he has done from game to game. And the Rams are just a few inches short of a first down. So third down and a couple of inches here for Newton.
Well, let me go out on a limb right here, Kevin, and say Jason Robbins straight up the middle.
You know, we've been going out on limbs all night, and for the most part we've been right, so maybe it will happen once again. Britt Mask is the center. The quarterback, Kareem Maddox, at 5'8" tall. Jason Robbins, the lone man in the backfield. Wing T type formation. A man on each side of the line. And there goes Jason Robbins, and he's got the first down.
Jason Robbins. We called that one, didn't we? Been very successful through the first half of Jason Robbins, especially down on the goal line. He's so strong, and he's a straight ahead runner, north and south. No east and west from Jason Robbins. He does a good job of going straight down the field and picked up a big first down. This is going to continue to drive, and as we look at the clock, it's just continuing to run, and we only have 1 minute left in the third quarter. So Newton County is doing a good job of marching down the field and eating up clock.
The Rams have the ultimate 1-2 punch. They use Carr and Benton to gain the yards close to a first down. If they fall a little bit short, Robbins has been able to push them over the top. That's the kind of thing you want from your running game. Robbins on first down this time, barrels forward to midfield. He's tackled by Chris Spreer, but a good 5-yard carry there from Robbins, and we're under a minute left in the third quarter. In fact, the Rams will probably only get one more playoff before the quarter is over.
I like to see Jason run the ball. He carries that ball with both his hands like it's his last quarter in the world. He holds on to it like it's no tomorrow, and that's what you want from your fullback. Just run north and south, hold on to the ball, and Jason is doing a good job.
22 seconds left. 14-3 your score. The mighty Brookwood Broncos have managed nary a field goal against the Newton Rams, who have scored 2 touchdowns so far, both coming in the second quarter. Robbins takes it again. He finds a little bit of a hole and past the 45. It's a first down for the Rams to the 43-yard line. That stops the clock with 5.6 seconds remaining. And Robbins barreling upfield the way he did a couple of weeks ago at home, getting big yardage.
That's a big play for Newton County. That's going to bring up a first down. That's probably going to end the third quarter.
And the clock ticks away 2 seconds, 1 second, and that will do it for your third quarter of action. So when we resume in the fourth quarter, the Rams will be at Brookwood's 43-yard line, leading by 11 points, 14-3. We are going to be back with your fourth quarter of Ram football action right after these messages.
Don't horse around with your choice of feed. FRM horse feeds are a proper balance of protein and nutrients with a blend of rich grains and protein meals, cane molasses, vitamins and minerals. FRM horse feeds promote sleek, shiny coats and plenty of energy. FRM horse feeds and minerals. Available now at your FRM dealer.
That's the Farm and Garden Depot of Covington, located at 4125 Emory Street, 787-3870.
You know, Covington is really growing, but sometimes when you're shopping, you have that urge to head west toward Atlanta to get a little better price. Well, if you are shopping for a cellular phone, you need to turn that car around and head east. That's right, East Metro Communications has brand-name cellular phones at competitive prices, and AirTouch Cellular offers several different rate plans to choose from. East Metro Communications is this area's oldest cellular agent, and they are conveniently located on Highway 278, a quarter mile east of the hospital in Covington. Or call them at 786-6796. East Metro Communications, an authorized agent for AirTouch Cellular, the new name for Pactel.
Now the Newton Rams fumble the football, and the Broncos have recovered just like that. A 2-yard loss and a recovery. Kareem Maddox had some trouble on the handoff to Jason Robbins. Could be some inexperience in there. Maddox hasn't played a whole lot as far as continuing to play series after series at quarterback, and this time, unfortunately, it cost the Rams.
What Newton County's got to do is just realize, okay, we made a mistake. Let's go ahead and go on. Let's continue to play hard. Don't let that play get them down. The defense is out there, and what I really like to see is I saw the defensive captains going out there saying, it's okay, we're going to pull you through it, and Newton County's defense has got to step up here and stop the Brookwood offense.
Brookwood at their own 46, 1st and 10. We've got the equivalent of an eternity here at 11 and a half minutes left in this game. So we're in for a barn burner at Homer Sharp Stadium. Townsend on first down. Nada. He's brought down by the Ram defensive front. He may have lost a couple of yards on the play. And we'll check and see where the ball is spotted.
I tell you what, Mark Townsend's getting up real slow. He's just totally frustrated. I keep using that word. I just can't think of another word to say. But he's just walking back to the huddle very distraught. He don't know what's going on. But I tell you what, Jason Robbins delivered a punishing blow there. And if Mark Townsend hadn't been hit in the first 7 games, he was just hit on that play.
He has been hit very hard tonight. And so far in this half, 2 yards of rushing, giving him 30. Make that 32 for the game. Phillips looking to pass on second down. It's up and incomplete over the head of the intended receiver, Dustin Hewitt.
What kind of scares me right here, Kevin, is Sean Phillips. He's a quality player. They're not working. It's not working out with Mark Townsend with the running game. So look for Brookwood Broncos. It's getting kind of late. There's only 10 minutes. There's 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. So Brookwood is probably going to have to abandon the running game with Mark Townsend. It's just not working, and they're probably going to have to go to the pass. And Sean Phillips is a quality quarterback, and this is kind of scary.
Third down for Brookwood, 10 yards to go. 10 minutes, 46 seconds left. Phillips once again looking to pass. 4 receivers sprinting upfield. Phillips taking himself, and he's brought down at the 41-yard line. Somebody came up there and made a tremendous hit on it.
That was Greg Benson. He did a great job of running in there, and he's just a sophomore, but this rascal's getting very big. He's gained weight during the season. Even though he's practicing hard every day after school, he's getting bigger, getting stronger. He made a lot of pressure there on Sean Phillips, and Marcelo Baines was there to work on him, and it's going to force Brookwood to punt.
So once again, Robbie Norman will be on to punt for Brookwood. If you're the Ram folks, he's been out there plenty enough tonight, and you like to see that. The ball bounces at the 35-yard line after a fairly good punt. Takes a bit of a Newton County roll toward the 38 and brought down there. Not much of a punt that time around, about 20 yards on the punt. The Rams take over on downs at their own 38.
I tell you what, somebody's up here watching, overlooking this game and hoping Newton County can win, because that punt was up in the air and several of the Newton County defenders were going back to try to make a block, and that ball was coming down real short because it was a short punt, and Newton County got very lucky the ball didn't bounce up and hit one of the offensive linemen or defensive linemen that were going back to make blocks. So somebody, I don't know who it is, but somebody out here is looking over Newton County, and all the breaks are going Newton County's way.
So here come the Rams to the line with Marcelo Baines at center and Kareem Maddox at quarterback and Jamiko Usher in the back position with two other backs in the wing T set. Cordell Benton takes it on first down. Has some running room. He's out to the 50. He's to the 40. He's to the 30. Cuts back in. Jukes a man to the 20 and out of bounds at the 18-yard line. Cordell Benton, for the first time, has used that tremendous speed, gaining big yardage on the right side of the field, and Todd Chapman, a smiling man as he's been calling it all night. Finally, the Rams call number 20, and he gains big.
I tell you what, he got loose. Cordell Benton on the side over there, he got loose, and he put a lot of moves, and I guarantee if it wasn't for the angle for Brookwood by Jason Harris, number 22, Cordell Benton would be in the end zone probably celebrating right now. Cordell Benton's got a lot of speed. He showed it right there. We've been talking all about Adrian Carr and Jason Robbins, but Cordell Benton is also a quality back, and he's paying the price here and is giving Newton County excellent field position down on the Brookwood 19 or 18-yard line.
The senior class for the Newton Rams getting rid of some serious frustration here tonight, frustrating those Broncos, and they'd like nothing more than to emphatically slam the door by scoring another touchdown. Adrian Carr takes it, has some running room on the far side. He's out toward the 10, out of bounds near a first down at the 9-yard line.
I tell you what, Adrian Carr is so quick. Number 30 out there, the secondary guy for Brookwood Broncos, his first name is Pat. I am not even going to try to pronounce his last name. Starts with a G, I'll tell you that. But anyway, he got juked out. He's still, I don't know, he's probably wondering where in the world did that number 5 go, because Adrian Carr went right around him and picked up another big first down for the Newton County Rams. It's going to be first down for Newton County on the Brookwood 8-yard line.
9 minutes, 11 seconds left, and with a score, the Rams could emphatically slam the door on this game, something they'd love to do against a top 5 team, and to show the folks that have been excluding them from the rankings all year that the Rams really deserve to be up there in the top 15 teams in the state. Maddox over center. A man goes in motion. This time Usher takes the football and dives forward a couple of yards to the 5.
Jamiko Usher's doing a good job. He needs to pick up his feet a little bit. He could have probably got a couple more yards, but he got tripped up there at the line of scrimmage. But one thing I like to see Jamiko Usher's doing, he's carrying the ball just like Jason Robbins, and that's what you want out of your fullbacks. You want them to hold it with both arms. Then the fullback's not going to outrun anybody. He's not going to run out anybody at all. But he's doing a good job, and Jason Robbins is going to come in, and Coach Cook's got some fine words to say to his third-string fullback, Jamiko Usher.
With Patrick Gaither and Jason Robbins both possibly nursing some injuries, that may be a reason why Usher has played a little bit more in this game. 8 minutes, 14 seconds left in your ball game. Rams up 14-3 at the Brookwood 5. Second down. Maddox takes the football, gives it to Cordell Benton for a couple of yards up the middle. It'll be third down and 3. Third down and goal, essentially, with the ball at the 3-yard line. We're under 8 minutes to play.
That's probably one thing the Brookwood Broncos haven't seen all year long is 2 quick tailbacks that Newton County has shown them this tonight. The linebackers have been just kind of blitzing, going through the line, but the tailbacks for Newton County are so quick that they're avoiding the tackle in the backfield and picking up 3 or 4 extra yards, and that's just a tremendous job there by the offensive line and also the tailbacks for the Newton County Rams.
Any Ram fan who is not at the ball game tonight is missing a serious treat. Of course, you'll get a chance to redeem yourself 2 weeks from now when the Rams take on the Parkview Panthers. Cordell Benton has fumbled the football on the 10. The Brookwood defense running toward the right side now. Benton runs toward the left, and he's tackled back at the 9-yard line for a 6-yard loss. He did hang on to the football and ran back toward the other side of the field where he was hit hard.
Cordell Benton, he saw all the daylight in the world. He would have walked into the end zone. There was no one out there, but he looked to the end zone a little bit too quick and didn't follow the ball into his gut. Good pitch there by Kareem Maddox. It wasn't a bad pitch. It was a good pitch, but it's going to bring up fourth down, and Wes Billingsley is going to be on to try a field goal.
This is something that Coach Cook, I'm sure, doesn't really want to do, but now backed up 4th down and 9, he's got to, because this puts the Rams up by 14 points, and Brookwood, of course, with 2 touchdowns, might go for 2 and still win it. Snap is good, hold is good, the kick is up and good. Wes Billingsley with the 26-yard field goal attempt right through the uprights, and it's 17-3, Newton on top. We're going to be back with more exciting Newton County Rams football after this on WGFS AM 1430.
Score with big savings at Mayfield Ace Hardware. Ace Hardware Par floodlights. Choose between 75 or 150 watts, $2.99. Ace Hardware standard light bulbs, 40, 60, 75, or 100 watts, only 99 cents each. Ace Entry Lock, your choice, $8.49. 7-star flat latex wall paint, $10.97 a gallon, and great stuff, foam sealant, $3.99. Score with big savings at Mayfield Ace Hardware on the Square and in Newton Plaza.
Welcome back, and if you can't believe it, well, believe it. Newton County is up on the Brookwood Broncos 17-3. Back with your play-by-play, Kevin Holden.
Thank you very much, Paul Dailey. The Newton Rams looking to move to 6-2 and 3-1 in sub-region play. Folks, if they beat Brookwood, they're tied for first in the sub-region with Brookwood and Parkview, who would both be 3-1. We'll discuss quite a bit of the playoff picture after this game is over, I have a feeling. Wes Billingsley will be kicking off for the Newton Rams. The man deep for Brookwood is Anthony Gambini, a big guy back there. The kick is up and toward his side of the field. Now it's going to be taken by number 28, Ryan Farrer, who is hit hard at the 20-yard line and brought down. He took the ball at the 10 and got stuffed at the 20.
That's one of those JV guys out there. We don't really have a number on him, number 30. Last name is Bryce, doing a good job, went down there, and he's fired up. He got to play in the varsity game on the kickoff team, got down there and made a big hit on number 28, Ryan Farrell, and this is going to back Brookwood Broncos deep in their own territory. Actually, they'll be on the 20-yard line.
Brookwood beginning the drive at their own 20 with 6:30 left in this ball game. Phillips looking to pass. The pass up. Complete, but then tackled immediately. A good completion to David Cook, an accurate completion, but Torrance McCullum right on top of him immediately made the play.
Well, something Newton County's got to do. The coaching staff has got to decide whether or not to go back in the prevent defense. They're still playing that 4-4, kind of like a base 50. They're not in their prevent defense. James Jackson is kind of backing up a little bit, but Brookwood has no choice but to pass, and that's what Newton County needs to look for.
They're passing and passing quickly. Already another play getting off. Phillips up, complete to the 45-yard line. The man is hit hard and brought down at the 48-yard line. Good vision of the field as the pass complete to Hopkins.
That ball was actually tipped, and that just shows you what kind of a receiver the Hopkins boy, Adam Hopkins, is. He made a reception after the deflection, and he's a quality player. Sean Phillips is marching his team right down the field, and Newton County's got to make some kind of adjustment.
17-yard gain here. Brookwood first down at their own 48. Another passing play here. It's up. Complete at the 39-yard line of the Rams, and the Brookwood Broncos showing tremendous ability to drive the ball downfield with the passing game. This one was complete again to Adam Hopkins.
Well, Sean Phillips is not looking at any other receivers but Adam Hopkins. That's all he's looking at, and he's made 3 big receptions right here, marching right down the field. Newton County's got to cover him a little bit more, maybe need to double team number 21, but Newton County's got to make some kind of adjustment.
They are moving down the field so quickly and so efficiently. Here's a long pass. It's up. And there's a flag on the play. Torrance McCullum of the Newton Rams has the football, but we're going to see what the yellow flag is all about.
Whenever you see that call right there, you're going to probably see some kind of defensive interference, but both of them are going for the ball, but they're going to call it against Newton County.
So the call going against the Rams. That play started at Newton's 39-yard line.
The fans don't really agree with the call. I don't agree with the call either. Both of them are going for the football. And the defensive guy has just as much right to the ball as the offensive player, but according to the referee back there, he says that Torrance McCollum was there just a little bit too early. But that's going to be a big penalty against the Newton County Rams and a big break for the Brookwood Broncos.
Credit the Rams with staying away from penalties in this game. Only 2 penalties for 20 yards. This one, unfortunately, is a crushing one. Another Brookwood first down, their 4th one in a row. At the Newton 24-yard line is where they are now. 5:51 left on the clock. They've wasted about 40 seconds and driving a good 60-plus yards downfield, deep into Newton Ram territory, trailing 17-3. Wonder why they haven't passed before now. Phillips up, complete to the 21-yard line. The receiver is stuffed and brought back for another 4-yard loss. It looked like it was complete to Townsend. Brookwood has passed some before this, but in the 3rd quarter, only 1 completed pass.
Well, I tell you what, Newton County has done their homework against Mark Townsend. Not only is he frustrated coming out of the backfield on the rushing plays, he came out with a reception there and only picked up about 3 or 4 yards, but he's still a quality player, and Newton County's got to keep an eye on him.
Phillips will look to pass there at the Ram 21-yard line. It's up, incomplete this time. Adam Hopkins was the man he was looking for, but it was out beyond him and up over his head. But there's a flag on the play. We'll check that.
Don't really know that was on the other side of the field, so we're going to wait on the call here by the the referees don't really know what it's going to be about. Looks like they're going to talk to the Brookwood. Actually, they're talking to the Newton County Rams. It's going to be illegal receiver downfield. One of the linemen probably ventured downfield a little too far, and that's going to be a big penalty against the Brookwood Broncos. So Newton County's got to take advantage here and keep the Brookwood Broncos out of the end zone.
The Rams took the penalty, and it's 5 yards against Brookwood. That keeps the down, but the ball's at the 26.
3 points really doesn't help out the Brookwood Broncos at this point. They need 2 touchdowns to get back in this ball game, so look for Brookwood to try whatever they can to get in the end zone.
Brookwood 2nd and 12 with 5:15 left, trailing by 2 touchdowns. Phillips looking to pass. Here it is up and complete at the 12-yard line. The man who made the reception, Chad Blackwell, Torrance McCollum might have been lucky not to have been called for a late hit there.
Torrance McCollum has got to do a little bit better job of sticking with the receiver. He's giving him a little bit too much cushion. He's doing a little bit too much prevent defense. You shouldn't be in a prevent defense right here when you're on the 9-yard line or the 20-yard line. You got to keep with that man. Even though Adam Hawkins has been the main man, number 83 for the Brookwood Broncos, David Cook has made a big reception. So Brookwood is driving here late in the 4th quarter.
They are doing so in very, very convincing fashion. Phillips looks to pass again. The pass is up. Intercepted by Alex Watley at the 3-yard line. Alex Watley saw it. His eyes grew so big you could see him from up here in the press box a good 200-plus feet away. Watley caught the football, and now the Rams will take over, but they are deep in their own territory.
Well, what happens there, Kevin, is when the quarterback has one main receiver, sometimes you try a little too hard to put it to that receiver. Sean Phillips tried to push it in there to Adam Hawkins. Adam Hawkins was really covered really well. Alex Watley was sitting back there, and his eyes grew really big. We saw his eyes through his face mask from way up here in the press box. It made a quality interception. However, Newton County's got to do something about getting out of this way back here. They got to hold on to the football and do a good job on offense.
4 minutes, 40 seconds left. Of course, the Rams will run some serious time off the clock trying to drive downfield. If they have a good Jack Cook-style drive, they'll be okay. Adrian Carr takes the football at the 10. One man he had to be that brought him down at the 15-yard line, and that's a first down. Ryan Farrer brought him down, but that is a 10-yard gain. And another Rams first down, their 7th of the half.
I tell you what, if there's any big play in the ball game, that was one of them right there. Getting out of deep in your own end zone, give it to Adrian Carr, which actually went deep into the end zone to get that pitch. And Newton kind of gambled there, and it paid off. It's going to be a first down on their own 14-yard line.
Back to the wing T formation here. 4:15 left. Smith hands off. Straight up the gut for absolutely no yards. It'll bring up a second down and 10-yardage situation. And the Rams moving that time off the clock.
That's okay. It's all right because that clock is still running. Brookwood, you got to make a decision here of whether or not to burn one of their timeouts. They have 3 remaining. Newton County has 3, but that's the last thing in the world Newton County is going to do is call a timeout here. So Newton County is going to bring up second down and still 10 yards to go.
They're at their own 14-yard line are the Newton Rams. Once again out of the wing T. Pitch to Adrian Carr on the left side. Adrian Carr eludes one tackler, spins back to this side, gets wrapped up and tackled at the 8-yard line. He was looking so much for running yardage upfield that he ended up losing another 5 yards.
I tell you what, that scares me to death whenever Adrian tries to do something else. A second effort, he's carrying that ball still like a loaf of bread. Brookwood's going to call a timeout here, but Adrian and all those offensive backs have got to hold on to this football, especially deep in their own territory.
Timeout called by the Brookwood Broncos. 3:29 left. Newton Ram fans on the edge of celebrating 17-3 Newton County. Your score. More exciting Newton Rams football after this on WGFS AM 1430.
With free financing and free delivery, you really need to come by Hayes Furniture and check out these new items. Hayes Furniture has 9x12 Oriental rugs, 7-foot Oriental runners in a variety of colors and styles, assorted brass, crystal, and glass lamps. Hayes also carries a wide selection of Bassett and Vaughn furniture. Hayes Furniture has something for everyone and every room in your home. So come by Hayes Furniture, located at 6166 Washington Street in Covington, 786-3737.
Back at Homer Sharp Stadium where the Newton County Rams are on top of the Brookwood Broncos 17-3 with 3 minutes and 29 big seconds on the clock down there in the far end zone. Back with your play-by-play, Kevin Holden.
Jack Cook has talked to his Ram offense, and he is slowly trotting off the field toward the sideline as the Rams with a third down situation from their own 11. Adrian Carr takes the football, driving upfield, is tackled back for a loss of about 6 yards. They'll give him forward progress, which will be a couple of yard gain, but Carr was brought back another 8 yards. And so the Rams will be very, very deep and will be forced to punt here.
I'll tell you one thing, the Brookwood Broncos were very fortunate there not to get a piling on. They had Adrian stopped, the whistle was blown, and they still pursued Adrian and threw him down on the ground. So Brookwood Broncos got very lucky there that they didn't get a personal foul called against them. And the Brookwood Broncos, again, will call timeout.
We're going to keep it here. West Billingsley will be on to punt here for the Newton Rams. Folks in the Newton County area who saw the rankings and saw the scores and saw what happened to Newton last week might have been a bit discouraged about tonight's game, and I have a feeling there were quite a few of those people who didn't have that great a feeling about tonight, but I have a feeling that all of that has been taken care of here as the Rams up 2 touchdowns. They've allowed only 3 points to a team that ranks among the best in the state. They were 7-0. These Brookwood Broncos had not lost a game to anybody coming in, but they're down 2 touchdowns here, and with 3:09 left, with their backs against the wall.
Well, the bad thing about it, Mark Townsend was named player of the week last week in the state of Georgia, and this is coming back to haunt him tonight. However, we look out there on the field right now, Brookwood has got to try to block this punt. You know, you're 3 minutes and 9 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Brookwood has got 10 people up on the line of scrimmage, so hopefully the Newton County offensive line can block here for West Billingsley.
It's a crucial one because Billingsley is in his own end zone. The punt does get off, and it is a very, very good punt, which is fielded at the 46-yard line by Mark Townsend, who jumps 1, 2, 3 times and is tackled past midfield, jumping around from side to side, trying to juke his men who were right there on top of him. He had about a 5-yard return after a strong kick from Billingsley.
That's one thing you can't do to any Newton County defender. It goes back in the past for a long time. Newton County has always had quickness, lateral speed. Maybe not the size of some of the Gwinnett County teams, but Newton County has always had speed, and Mark Townsend is very frustrated with even the receivers and the defenders. They're so fast, and Mark Townsend can't do a thing with them.
First down for Brookwood at Newton's 48-yard line. Phillips looking to pass. Marcelo Baines was giving chase. The quarterback got past him, continues to run upfield past the 40, near a first down at the 37-yard line. We've got 2:41 left, but Brookwood once again storming upfield.
Sean Phillips is a quality quarterback. He decided to tuck it under and run. The time has stopped right now for the change, the first down markers to move. It's 2:41 remaining. The Brookwood Broncos are lining up ready to play ball.
They'll be at their own 36 first down, 6 first downs for them so far in the quarter. Phillips passes up. It is incomplete over the head of Adam Hopkins. More of a timing pattern that time, but Hopkins wasn't quick enough to get up with the football.
Well, I tell you what, Newton County has got to realize that Sean Phillips has got one receiver. He's got one receiver, and it's Adam Hopkins. He's not looking anywhere else on the field. He's got number 83 out there, David Cook. He was wide open on that play, but luckily the Brookwood quarterback, Sean Phillips, wasn't looking his way. And hopefully Newton County can continue to play good defense. They got to get a little bit better penetration out of the defensive line. Marcelo's got to slow down. He's penetrating a little too quick and running right by the quarterback, so maybe he can slow down and be under control.
Phillips once again a passing play. 2nd down and 10. He gets great blocking from his offensive line, but his pass is incomplete. Cook was the receiver nearest the ball, and number 32 for the Newton Rams, a little upset with himself. He wanted himself a pick there. That's Rico Williams, minus the lime green shirt we noticed.
Yeah, we don't see the lime green shirt. Maybe it's tucked in a little bit better than it has been, but he definitely had it on against Shiloh. Maybe he decided, hey, this green shirt that I have on is not very good luck. And as he just pulled up his shirt, maybe he's listening to us out there, but he does have a white shirt up underneath his shoulder pads.
Maybe the superstition hit him, and of course all of the superstitions we're very thankful for because the Rams are up 2 touchdowns. Phillips, pass up, incomplete, over the head of David.
Has moved from linebacker up to the defensive line, and he's actually now a pass rusher. So actually there was no blitz there. Newton County is in prevent defense, but Jason Robin has switched position. And he's playing defensive tackle.
2 minutes, 23 seconds left. The Rams look to tie for first place in the sub-region and beat Brookwood for the first time since 1987. Phillips pass up, complete, may have a first down. The hit by Rico Williams, it's going to be close. That was a 4th down play, so we'll see what happens. Time is called. They may try to measure this one.
They're going to measure that. Hopefully, I tell you what, he was nowhere near that first down. He was near it, but he was nowhere near going across. Hopefully they didn't get a bad spot here, but it looks like it's going to be real, real close. I think Brookwood's got a good spot. Let's see what's going to happen.
All eyes are on the chain gang. Close, but no cigar, and the Newton Rams, maybe taking over on offense. Wait just a moment here. Torrance McCullum of the Rams was celebrating prematurely. Yes, now it is Newton Ram football. They determined that the Newton Rams do have the football. That's mighty, mighty close there to the marker, but the Rams do get the football.
As that person we talked about earlier, I don't know who's watching over this game, but they sure did then. The referee gave Brookwood a good spot, but still it was not enough for the Brookwood Broncos to get a first down, so it's going to bring the Newton County offense back onto the field. And we can't say enough for the Newton County defense. Time and time again, they've come in and done a wonderful job, and the offense have got to run time off the clock. Brookwood only has one timeout remaining with only 2 minutes to go in this ball game.
There is Coach Jack Cook on the sideline talking to his senior players. He just talked to Marcelo Baines a moment ago and congratulated him because he has certainly played a good ball game tonight. 1:56 remaining. The Rams up 2 touchdowns. Smith gives to Jason Robbins, who plows up the middle for a couple of yards, and this will run a fair amount of time off the clock. The Rams are a couple of plays away from beating a top 5 team, beating a ranked team for the 3rd time this year, and the Rams could move to 6-2 if they do that.
I'll tell you what, this is a big, big victory for Newton County. If you think back, and I don't want to jinx them or anything, but you think back, Newton County's they would be 7-0, 8-0 possibly, if, just a matter of 3 or 4 points. They lost to Lithia Springs real close, lost by 3 points last week against Shiloh, and are just devastating the Brookwood Broncos at this point late in the 4th quarter.
And again, the defense has been the story. They've been averaging 2 points allowed per game at home. We didn't think that would hold up. They've allowed 3. Robbins takes it again up the middle to the 31-yard line. Brookwood does have 1 timeout remaining. There's 1:04 left on the clock as Robbins carries it for a couple of yard gain. It'll be 3rd down and about 5 or 6 yards to go. We're under a minute now.
I'm going to go out on a limb again right here, Kevin, and I'm going to say that they're going to go straight up the middle again with maybe Jason Robbins. Maybe they may take a penalty here.
The Ram fans on the near sideline giving up a holler for their Newton Rams. They have played a valiant ball game tonight. Stephen Smith gives to Jason Robbins up the middle, about a yard, maybe 2, tackled behind the 30, but the forward progress takes him to the 32, and here's a timeout.
Looks like Brookwood's going to take their last timeout. I maybe would have took a penalty there. We're really close to getting a first down. You would have ran a little bit more time off the clock, but I think Newton County is in really good position to win this ball game. You only have 30.5 seconds remaining, and they're up by 14 points. So unless a miracle happens here for the Brookwood Broncos, Newton County is going to leave this game with a big victory, probably one of the biggest victories in recent years in Newton County football history.
To be perfectly honest, the Rams could have afforded to take a loss here. It wasn't essential to the playoff picture. They could lose here. If they win their last 2, they would be in the playoffs. This is for pride. This is for 3 years of Brookwood scoring 93 points and the Rams not scoring a single point. And those long bus rides home from Brookwood High School in 91 and especially in 1992 when they were blown out 35-0 and never came close to scoring a touchdown with the type of offense that they had. This is revenge.
This is a really big ball game for Newton County. Coach Cook, he's not going to be satisfied until that last second goes off the clock. He still looks like he's frustrated. He's still working the referees out there. He's doing a good job. Coach Cook is a quality coach.
Billingsley standing on the 17, waiting the snap. And it is a good one, and Billingsley does get the kickoff in time. It bounces past midfield to the 40, takes a little roll to the 32. Townsend called for a catch. He was hit hard by Danny Sisko, and Townsend right up in the face of Danny Sisko, and here come a bunch of Newton and Brookwood players. We may have us a rhubarb on our hands here with 23.9 seconds left. The officials step in the middle, trying to stop this before it starts. Jack Cook will be furious with whoever's been involved with that. He's going to get them off the field as quickly as possible. The man who came up there and made the hit, originally we thought was Danny Sisko. Marcelo Baines is one of the folks who was being talked to by Coach Cook, who is now going out to talk to the referee.
I have no idea what in the world Mark Townsend's upset about. He did not call a fair catch. He just caught the ball. He did go down on one knee, and that's probably what he's arguing about. But Danny Sisko did hit him, but the referees, it should be a personal foul against Danny Sisko, but he may have not even saw him go down on a knee. There's no fair catch. But Mark Townsend's just frustrated. That whole sideline over there, the Brookwood Broncos, the coaching staff is just frustrated. It's just too late. What they need to do is just realize that this is a tough Newton County ball team, getting the bus and going home.
When you're a person like Mark Townsend who has come out week after week and been successful against everyone you've faced and a team that's gone undefeated, and you come to Newton County with a lot of momentum, expecting that victory against the Rams, and the Rams come in and limit you to 30 yards rushing over an entire ball game, you've got to know that that man has had a very, very rough night.
I guarantee you, if they ever try to give him Player of the Week in the state of Georgia, I doubt he'll probably accept it, because he did accept it this past week with a big game last weekend. But I tell you what, he's just a totally frustrated man. But he's a quality back. He's showing some frustration tonight. Hopefully, he can regather himself and be under control. But I tell you what, this is just an enormous victory for the Newton County Rams.
This game here is a tremendous credit to the coaching staff, because as we mentioned, the Rams, if they had lost here, wouldn't be out of the playoff picture. But credit the coaching staff with having the players motivated enough to come out here against a Brookwood team believing that they could hang with this Brookwood team and beat them. And they certainly have proven it.
I tell you what, I really don't know what all this discussion is about. I mean, the flag was not thrown. The Brookwood coach is really upset. He's got one player down there on the 20-yard line. That's a penalty in itself, because he can't go over the 30-yard line. He's got several players down there. Maybe they're just trying to get towards the bus so they can get on out of here. But the Brookwood Broncos, you know, they're used to winning, and it's very frustrating for them to lose. They're a quality team, but Newton County, I tell you what, is just done a great job tonight. The defense has done a wonderful job. We said that Adrian Carr's got to get the ball to win tonight, and that's exactly what Coach Cook has done. Big conversation. The referee is going to come over here and talk to Coach Cook and see what the problem is.
Oh, those poor Brookwood fans. There are going to be quite a few long rides back to Snellville tonight. Dave Hunter, the head coach of the Brookwood Broncos, goes out and talks with the referee, and that conversation is over, and some of the Brookwood players are huddled at the 20. What happened now on a punt? Mark Townsend on one hop took the football at about the 33-yard line. Immediately after going down on one knee, he got hit hard and stood up by Danny Sisko. Knocked him back onto his feet. Townsend immediately got up in Sisko's face, and immediately folks from both sides came out to protect their players. The coaches came out. Referees got in the middle to stop it. There wasn't a huge major fight on the field, but they've been talking about it for certainly a long time. Hopefully they have gotten everything figured out. The referee is trying to motion the coaches completely off the field now.
It'll look like the time has started. I don't think the Brookwood Broncos are going to send their team out there. They're just totally frustrated. That just shows. I don't think that's very classy out of the Brookwood Broncos. Newton County has just won this football game in big fashion.
Newton County fans, time to celebrate in the streets on 278 and everywhere else. The Rams with a 2-touchdown victory over a top 5 team in the Brookwood Broncos. And on the last play of the game, the Broncos didn't even take the field as they concede the 2-touchdown victory to Newton County. So the fans can go home as happy as they have in a good 7 years. Now the two teams are meeting at midfield. Hopefully the coaches are in the middle of that. We don't want anything started there.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm looking over there on the sideline, and we're talking about how classy and what a quality player Mark Townsend is. He's not even out there trying to shake anybody's hand. He's just frustrated. Brookwood's too used to winning, and this is a big victory. And I'm glad to see it. I'm glad to see Brookwood lose this ball game, because they came in here and really showed themselves. And I'm just glad at Newton County, and they're classy. They're going out there shaking hands. But it just shows you that some of these players in the Brookwood Broncos have no class and not out there shaking hands.
This Ram team has lifted the entire community up on a pedestal. Newton County folks can lift their heads high for quite a while. Thank you very much. As the score is 17-3, we'll be back to wrap up your happy news right after this on WGFS AM 1430.
Why do people go to Pippen's Barbecue? Because they've heard about the great food, great service, and great prices. Pippen's Barbecue has delicious baby back ribs, Brunswick stew, and smoked chicken. But no matter what you try, you're going to love what you eat at Pippen's Barbecue.
Our food and our service just can't be beat. You're going to love what you eat.
Pippen's Barbecue, Highway 20 South in Conyers and on Alcovey Road in Covington.
You know, a lot of national chain stores that offer building materials look more like a high-tech supermarket than a lumber store. Well, at Campbell Lumber Company, they use a little less computer and a lot more one-on-one personal attention. After all, that's the way Campbell Lumber Company's been doing business for years, so why fix it if it ain't broke? Why, even if it was broke, Campbell Lumber Company has probably got what it takes to fix it. 4112 Emory Street Northwest in Covington.
Cereal biscuits and gravy, tomato slices, Jell-O, fresh fruit and grits. Whew.
Bet you can't do it again.
Again?
Shoney's 40-item all-you-care-to-eat breakfast bar presents a dilemma for some of our more sporting customers.
Look, I don't know if I have one more in me.
You see, it seems they view our mouth-watering selection of 40 breakfast items as a challenge.
Oh, it is.
One look at all that freshly prepared food available at one low price, and they want it all at once.
Well, maybe one more time.
But there's only one way to get everything on a breakfast bar at once.
Here goes. Pancakes, scrambled eggs, bacon, breakfast potatoes, cheese sauce, sausage, cinnamon toast sticks.
And even that takes practice.
Fresh fruit and grits. Did I get it all?
Well, you forgot sticky buns again.
Oh, no. All right, here we go. One more time. Pancakes.
Shoney's all-you-care-to-eat breakfast bar. With so much to choose from, maybe we should call it all you dare to eat.
And sticky buns. Boy, that's a mouthful.
And remember, Wednesday night is family night at Shoney's. Kids 12 and under eat free off the kids' menu. Limit 2 per adult meal purchase, only at Shoney's.
When I'm in the mood for a good sandwich, I go to Little Philly's Hoagie Shop and Game Room, located at 10255 Industrial Boulevard, right across from the old Shell truck stop. They're open from 11 a.m. until 10 p.m. Monday through Thursday, and from 11 a.m. until midnight Friday and Saturday. Why are Little Philly's sandwiches so good? They're always made fresh and never microwaved. If you can't get by Little Philly's to enjoy your meal in their spacious seating area, delivery service is available throughout the day and evening. So for the best sandwich in town, go to Little Philly's or call them at 786-0095. That's 786-0095.
If it involves sports and you need it, take your need to Lutie Sports Shop and Trophies, 787-3014. They've got a fine selection of baseball and football cards. For your favorite teams, they have T-shirts, caps, and sportswear. And they also make trophies. It's all under one roof at Lutie Sports Shop in the Newton Plaza Shopping Center in Covington. 787-3014. Lutie Sports Shop, 787-3014.
Covington, Georgia, where the big news, the Newton Rams tackle the big Brookwood Broncos, 17-3. Your final score is the Rams move to 6-2 and 3-1 in sub-region play. The mighty Broncos losing their first game of the year, going to 7-1, 3-1 inside the sub-region. Newton, Brookwood, and Parkview all tied for first place atop sub-region 8 Quad A South. And if you think it's not going to be an exciting race, you've got another thing coming, because the last 2 weeks of the season now promise to be absolutely tremendous. Paul Dailey, we have seen here at Newton County quite a transformation over the last few years. A team that had struggled in the early 90s, coming back, making positive strides. This is the year that everything started to come together, and it's hit, well, hopefully not its final pinnacle, but at least one pinnacle here with a 2-touchdown win over the Brookwood Broncos, a team that the Rams had not beaten since 1987.
And you really can't say enough for Coach Jack Cook. He's really struggled the first couple of years of his program. He doesn't have a lot of players to work with. You look over there on the Brookwood sideline, well, they've already gone. They've cranked the bus. But there was 90 players over there, and Coach Cook's got to work with about 40 or 50. In his program, this has got to be the biggest victory in his program here at Newton County. Of course, he had a lot of success over there in Alabama, but success may be coming his way here in Newton County. And it depends on, the fans. You got to get the players to go out there and win. And big victories like this carry over into the school system, too, because it encourages these kids to come out and play football, because they see all this excitement, they see all the publicity that these ball players get. And this is just a great victory for Newton County and something to look forward to. You got Parkview, which is another big team. They're actually bigger than Brookwood. I don't know if they're as talented as Brookwood, but they're definitely just as big, or maybe even bigger. And luckily, we have them here at home.
That's exactly right. That's 2 weeks from today. For those of you who didn't get a chance to attend the Brookwood game, who maybe didn't want to see the Rams possibly go down on the scoreboard, well, guess what? They didn't. They won by 2 touchdowns, and you'll get a chance to, in effect, redeem yourself and make yourself known, make your presence known here at Homer Sharp Stadium in 2 weeks. The date is November 11th. We want you to mark it on the calendar, put stars by it, etc., because that Ram versus Parkview Panther game promises to be for a playoff spot, possibly for the region championship.
You're exactly right, Kevin, and I tell you what, Coach Cook is out there still on the field. He's talking to some reporters. He's giving hugs to everybody. This is just a big victory for him and his staff, and also the team and the school. And this is going to carry over into next week. We got Burkmar next week. Burkmar up there, and we went up there last year and didn't play real well. Newton County can't have a letdown against Burkmar. Burkmar they're having a lot of trouble this year, but it seems that Newton County has trouble with teams that are having trouble, and hopefully Burkmar won't give us too much trouble next week. Newton County's got to go back to the drawing board, find out what's going on, continue to do the good things that they did this past week in practice, and get geared up for Burkmar. This game's over with. Read the paper tomorrow. Look for Newton County to have a lot of press in the Atlanta paper tomorrow because they just defeated a number 3 team. They beat a number 2 team, number 10 team in Redan. They beat a number 12 or 11 team in Winder Bear, and now they just beat a quality, one of the best programs in the state in Brookwood, and didn't beat them by a fluke. They beat them bad. They beat them the whole game. 17-3 is your final score, and just a tremendous victory for the Newton County and the Covington area.
One of the big factors, Mark Townsend, only 30 yards rushing in this affair. He picked up close to 30 in that first half and only about 2 yards in the second half, possibly even negative yardage for him in the second half as Brookwood went to the passing game. That was mostly effective. Brookwood showed some good drives downfield, but when it got close to the goal line, that's when the Rams stopped it.
Well, Newton County took Parkview out of their game totally. The Parkview, I keep saying Parkview. I can't say that. Brookwood's main, their offense is Mark Townsend. He was frustrated. Had one good run first, early in the first quarter. Then from then on, Newton County's linebackers and defensive ends just shut him down. And you got to give a lot of credit to Kevin Binky, the defensive coordinator, also the defense for Newton County. They just did a wonderful job of shutting down a quality player in Mark Townsend. And Sean Phillips, they turned to the air, and luckily Newton County was very successful. Brookwood was pretty successful with their passing game, but it just wasn't enough, and they come up short. And again, Newton County, stops people here in their own stadium and only allowed 3 points. So the average of 2 points may go up just a little bit, but you got to be satisfied to stop a Brookwood team with only 3 points.
The Crack Statistics staff is in with this new stat. The Rams have allowed 2.25 points per game at home. That's 9 points allowed over the course of 4 games. And yes, when you allow just over 2 points per game at home, you will win.
That's exactly right. And when you think about on down the road, if Newton County does happen to make the playoffs, and if they happen to win the region, and that's going out on a limb again. But if you can get home field advantage, that says so much because Newton County plays really well here. They have a little bit of trouble on the road. They showed that at Lithia Springs. They showed that up there at South Gwinnett when they played Shiloh. So Newton County has definitely got to try to get their playoffs. If they do make the playoffs, they need to try to get it here.
Well, that will do it for tonight's game. The Newton Rams and Brookwood Broncos from Homer Sharp Stadium. A 2-touchdown win. Paul, any final thoughts as next week we go to Burkmar and now have our shot at the region championship?
For the last couple of times that we've been to Burkmar, it's been really cold. Hopefully that maybe warm up. I don't know. It's kind of cold right now. But Newton County's got to get to the drawing board, find out what they can do to beat Burkmar. Apparently they found out what it took to beat Brookwood because they did it tonight. But they've got to concentrate now on Burkmar and not look ahead to Parkview. And I tell you what, I'm just really thrilled to death for the Newton County football team in this area because this is something that will get people out of their houses and out here on Friday nights to watch this team play.
Catch your breath, Newton County. You finally can here for a change as a 2-touchdown win. For executive producer Brian Crispin, moral supporter Todd Chapman, and of course my color man, that's your name, Paul Dailey, the big dog as they call you. Kevin Holden reporting from Homer Sharp Stadium. Newton County, as you go through work for the next week, hold your head up high, and if anything bad happens, remember this. Newton 17, Brookwood 3. So long, everybody.
You've been listening to exciting Newton County Rams football on WGFS AM 1430. Ram football on WGFS has been brought to you by Bulldog Tire, Steele Jones Insurance Agency, Pippin's Barbecue, The Farm and Garden Depot, Charles Evans Nissan, Ludy's Sports Shop, Carroll's Floor Covering, Newton Federal Savings and Loan, Mayfield Ace Hardware, East Metro Communications, Hayes Furniture, Coast to Coast Home and Auto, Campbell Lumber Company, Shoney's Restaurant, and courtesy Ford. Join us again next Football Friday for live coverage of Newton County Rams football, exclusively here on Covington and Newton County sports leader, WGFS, AM 1430.